supposed to run but did not fire, so we will correct that. And the Revs tonight hosting the Barnstormers, and it'll be a new look York team, beginning with the guy who leads off this game tonight, James Simmons, one of the new acquisitions signed today. No less than 9 transactions made by the Revs since they last took the field in Sunday's game in Bridgeport. And here's the rundown of what they've done. They've traded infielder Starlin Rodriguez and left-hand pitcher Layson Septimo to the American Association. Sean Hill goes inactive temporarily. He is with Team Canada at the Pan Am Games. Mike DeMark is temporarily inactive as well. Had to head home to Arizona to handle something. And meanwhile, the Revs have added Mikey Reynolds, who's back. He's been reactivated, won't be in the lineup tonight, but did take BP earlier today and could be in the lineup as early as tomorrow. They also have signed relievers Tyrell Harris and Trevor Miller. Miller relieving for the Mariners at AA this season, but had been a starting pitcher throughout much of his previous career. So that'll be interesting to see how his role plays out going forward. And James Simmons signed as well. The other departure was Shannon Wilkerson, whose contract was purchased by the Twins yesterday, and the Revs able to add Simmons very quickly after he had begun the season with Bridgeport. Didn't have quite the season this year that he had in years past, but an Atlantic League All-Star in previous years, and just last season was quite the force offensively and defensively for the Bluefish. He has run down many a ball against the Revs over the course of his Atlantic League career in center field, and that's where we will see him make his debut here this evening. Revs coming in with a fresh slate, 0-0 to start the second half. Lancaster actually not so much. They are 0-1 in the second half, as one of their games against Sugar Land from the start of the season was moved to the second half to help balance out the unbalanced schedule in the Atlantic League this season. Tonight in the second half opener, it's Logan Williamson, the All-Star, making the start. He's 3-5 with an ERA of 3.66. It jumped a full run in his last start, which was his roughest outing of the season, but looking to get back on track after a pretty dominant inning that he pitched in the All-Star game in Bridgeport on Wednesday night. Right-hander Joe Gardner will go for the Barnstormers. He's 3-1 with an ERA of 2.92. We will take a timeout here on our pregame and get the rundown on all of the roster moves and this team hitting the reset button. And we'll get Mace's perspective on all of that when we come back. Our pregame continues in a moment with first pitch tonight scheduled for 6:30 here at Santander Stadium as we redo opening night. It's the start of the second half and the start of a 70-game season, basically, for the Revs is what it amounts to here on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Want to learn to skate? Want to suit up and learn how to play some hockey? Come to the coolest place in town, York Ice Arena. Learn to skate programs are now available for all ages, for every skating ability. Kids of all ages will learn how to feel comfortable on ice, how to stand, and perhaps most importantly, how to fall properly. Class levels range from beginner to freestyle, where you'll learn basic jumps, spins, and footwork. Classes are taught by York Ice Arena skating instructors from White Rose Figure Skating Club. No skates? No problem. Skate rental is included in your registration. Or get on the ice for our York Ice Arena hockey programs. York Ice Arena coaches will focus on teaching proper techniques needed for anyone interested in playing hockey. Rental equipment is available for beginning players, both boys and girls. So get on the ice. Learn to skate. Learn to play. Sign up now. Group skating lessons and beginners hockey programs are forming now. Plus, York City residents get a 50% discount. Register today. Go to yorkskate.com and click on program info. York Ice Arena, the coolest place in town.
WellSpan has helped many professional, student, and recreational athletes stay at the top of their game. And they can do the same for you. With a full spectrum of care, including sports nutrition, concussion management, orthopedic surgery, and physical therapy, our winning team can help you prevent an injury or treat one. For immediate care, call 1-877-482-5420 or visit wellspan.org/sportsmedicine.
Revolution! Summer is in full swing at Santander Stadium. 2015 brings incredible entertainment, amazing giveaways, and, of course, fireworks. On July 13th, gold medalist and Penn State head coach Cale Sanderson will make a special appearance on Wrestling Night. Meet him and get an autograph. See you at the Revolution game on July 13th. Revolution!
Hi, this is Dan Patrick. Join me weekday mornings at 9 on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Fans, it's time to go inside the clubhouse. For the latest on your York Revolution and tonight's matchup, it's the Broadway Transmission Managers Report. Now, here's Atlantic League Manager of the Year, Mark Nason.
All right, Mace, not a whole lot to talk about today, huh? You had a pretty eventful break.
Yeah, we had an eventful break. A lot of moves, a lot of movement, and revamp the roster a little bit and get ready for the half.
First of all, just from on field and hitting the reset button, this team hadn't had a chance to get away from work basically since May 26th, I believe it was. How good were the 4 days for these guys?
I think it was great for them. You know, the one day we had off in between then was the travel day back from Sugar Land, so we had been at it for a while, and you know, and obviously it wasn't the kind of half that we wanted. So I think everybody needed a little mental break, and the body needed a break. So hopefully we're ready to go tonight.
As far as starting over fresh, a 0-0 record, do you think that can help mentally? Do you think there's something to that guys won't be carrying around the weight of the first half any longer?
I mean, I think so. We've done that here before. Last year we had a really good first half, and second half was okay. I think we're a couple games over 500, but we've been in situations like 2011 where we didn't win the first half and we had to win the second half. So, it's it can make for a long year either way, but our games obviously they mean a lot this half, and we're trying to get into the playoff situation. So we're excited about coming back out and starting over.
Boy, if you thought there were a lot of transactions already, how about the last couple of days? You have a lot of new names in here. Do you feel like with some of the moves that you've made this week and even in the last maybe 3 weeks or so, do you feel like you have a better unit to throw out there?
I mean, I think so on paper. I think the lineup is really strong. I think our bench players are strong, but, I mean, that's on paper. And obviously we have to go out and play the game, and we made some adjustments in the pitching staff as well. So, I like where we're at right now. I don't know how many transactions there were over the last couple of days, maybe 11, something like that. It was a lot. But, I looked at it in other ways too. I traded some guys that I thought needed more opportunity to play that they weren't going to get here. I thought they needed more experience than what they were going to get here. So we made some trades. Some guys we made inactive just out of necessity, and then we brought in some new guys that that have a pedigree that I think can play at this level, and now we'll find out.
Well, based on what you know about the new guys, where do you think the three new additions can help you? And you've got Simmons leading off tonight, but also Harris and Miller, the two new pitchers.
Well, obviously Harris and Miller will be relievers for now, and I'll probably use Trevor Miller more as a long guy out of the bullpen. Obviously, we know Simmons can play center field. Everybody knows James. He's been an all-star in this league, and he was a really good player for Bridgeport. So with Wilkerson getting signed yesterday to the Twins, we needed to find a center fielder, I thought. And obviously with Smitty not being 100% this year, I thought James was available, so we would try to get that done. And we actually got it done at 8 o'clock last night, and I think he got here at 4 o'clock this afternoon. So welcome to York. Here's your uniform, and go to center field. So, yes, I mean, it's been a little hectic, but, I think we'll get a chance to settle down now and go play.
And he's always hit well in this park. Do you think maybe a change of scenery can get him back to where he was, say, last year?
I hope so. One thing about stats, they're only a record of your past performance. It's hard to say it's an indicator of the future. We would like it to be, but baseball's a tough game, and you can hit 300 one year and 200 the next year, and I mean that's just kind of the way it goes. So you do try to bring in some guys that have had some success, and then hopefully they're able to find that and go get it again.
Well, on your bench tonight are the likes of Mikey Reynolds, who was just activated today, Talvin Nash, who was a little bit banged up, and we talked a lot about that going into the break. How close are you to, at least with the guys who are going to be here, how close are you to getting to full strength and having those two guys ready to go?
Well, we took batting practice today on the field. We took ground balls, and Mikey and Nash were out there for all of that today. So we're going to see how those guys feel tomorrow. And if they're good tomorrow, then I'll feel more comfortable about getting them in the lineup. And that'll help, too, because this way we're not going to kill the same 8 guys every night. And it gives me some options with some speed on the bench with Mikey Reynolds and Patino. And, let's say I have him in the game and I'm sitting, say, Valdez or Patterson or somebody. It gives me options where we can use some guys later in the game and go from there. But I think we're stronger now roster-wise than we've been. Position player-wise, I think pitcher-wise, we're still a little bit short with Sean Hill not here and some of those things. But position player-wise, I like where we're at, and hopefully we can get it going.
And just to expound on Wilkerson getting picked up, to you, was that a young guy that came in with the right attitude and played hard and did what he needed to do to showcase himself to somebody?
I do think that was a big part of him getting signed. It's, obviously it's always about need, what the need is, but when our league is getting scouted, the scouts like to see hustle, and Shannon hustled. And that's one thing that you can't take away from him. He played hard. If it was a ground ball to the pitcher, he gave you his best time from home to first, covered a lot of ground in the outfield, ran the bases hard, first to third, scored from first base once in a while on balls in the gap. So I think hustle is an intangible that gets you out of this league if teams are looking.
All right, Mace, thanks a lot. Good to be back, and good luck tonight.
Thank you.
All right, that is Revs manager Mark Mason on the Broadway Transmission Managers Report. Revs getting set to take the field here shortly. 28 meetings against the Barnstormers this season. Tonight is number 16 of those 28, almost fitting that these two teams begin the second half against one another as they will face off so often. Logan Williamson against Joe Gardner, your pitching matchup tonight, and the Revs take the field to start anew here tonight. The start of the second half, a clean slate, the first 70 games, ancient history, and are no longer important one bit. Starting over here tonight, we'll have the starting lineups and first pitch for you coming up next.
All right, let's try this one. Wherever you are, WOYK is... That blows. How about... Wherever you are, WOYK is watching. Oh, no, that's creepy. Let's try this. Take Sports Radio 1350 on the go with the new WOYK mobile apps. Available for download today. Bingo. The new Sports Radio 1350. Available anywhere via the WOYK mobile apps. First in York, first in sports.
Runners know the challenge. It's not the uncompromising weather. It's not the pounding repetition. It's not knowing how to dig deep as you start the climb of that last hill. For runners, the challenge is the discipline to keep running. Flying feet. Casual runners, amateur runners, hardcore runners, no matter what level runner you are, Flying Feet Sports Shoes is with you every step of the way. Over the years, Flying Feet has become the leader in athletic footwear and properly fitting the feet of runners throughout Central PA. For those searching for that discipline, Flying Feet provides the latest shoe innovations, the accessory equipment, and the inspiration to keep on running. Greg Baum and his staff have the knowledge and the true understanding of what running is all about. As one local runner put it, Flying Feet's family, and all runners are welcome. Flying Feet. Flying Feet Sports Shoes, 1511 Mount Rose Avenue, York, just off exit 18 of I-83 next to Battery Warehouse.
Looking for a break from the same old company outing this year? Well, look no further than the York Revolution in Santander Stadium. An event with the York Revolution is 0% more expensive than your typical room rental at a traditional venue, but it's 100% more fun. Whether it's an employee appreciation picnic or a company meeting, the staff at the York Revolution will create an experience like no other, with the same cost as a boring meeting. To find out more, give Kaylee Swanson a call at 801-4498. That's 801-4498.
Your teams all the time. York's only place for local sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Now the All-Star Logan Williamson will make the start in the second half opener here tonight as he goes through his warm-ups. Starting lineup for the Barnstormers brought to you by Flying Feet. It'll be Zach Collier, who was just added in center field, leading things off. Wilson Batista, the DH, will hit second. Hitting third in left field is Kevin Rivers, who was in the All-Star game. Mike McDade will get our first look at him. He is their new first baseman and hitting cleanup tonight. Brian Cavazos Galvez in right field will hit fifth. It'll be Luke Hughes, the second baseman, batting sixth. Juan Apodaca will catch tonight and hit seventh. It'll be Lance Zawadzki at shortstop, batting eighth. And Anderson Feliz, the third baseman, will hit ninth. Again for Lancaster, it's Collier, Batista, Rivers, McDade, Galvez, Hughes, Apodaca, Zawadzki, and Feliz facing Logan Williamson, who is coming off an all-star first half, just 3-5, but a solid ERA of 3.66, 2.66 before his most recent start. And at the time, it ranks sixth lowest in the league. Tonight, his 13th appearance, 12th start. And the overall numbers, 64 innings, 61 hits, opponents hitting 253, 20 walks, 39 Ks. He has been dominant against the Lancaster Barnstormers in 2 starts. And we'll face them for a third time this season here tonight. Well, he is ready to go, and Zach Collier makes his way to the plate. Barnstormers in the alternate black jerseys with the red numbers and letters. Black hats for them tonight. Revs are in the traditional home whites. And Williamson set to go. Collier will make his Atlantic League debut. Former first-round pick of the Phillies stands in. And away we go. Our Dasher Investment Services first pitch of the second half is swung on and looped to shallow left. Ferdinand hustling in, and it lands fair. And one hops into the Lancaster bullpen. Valdez chasing out from short, fires in. And Collier is on at second with a bloop double to begin things. That is not the change of good fortunes that we were hoping to see right out of the gate, but Williamson will go from there. So a bloop double on the first pitch of the night, and the first pitch that Collier sees with Lancaster. Looped it the other way. It landed right inside the line. And here is Wilson Batista, the DH. It's second in their order tonight. Came back from Mexico a few weeks ago. And Williamson's pitch is swung on and looped to right. Boggs toward that line. Runs it down, approaching the corner. Collier will tag and go second to third on it. Brandon Boggs, a nice running grab toward the corner and right. And Batista does advance the lead runner, the only runner, as Collier goes to third with one out. Our first pitch time tonight came at 6:35 officially, and it is 84 degrees on a sunny night here at the stadium. Here is Kevin Rivers, another left-hand hitter. Revs will play the infield back. And Williamson's pitch right on the outside corner. It's a called strike. Played on tonight is Bill Worthington, Doug McFarling at first, and Chris Carroll rounding out the crew at third base. Here's the 0-1. And it cuts down and away. Rivers held the hands back. Hitting at .260 with 9 home runs, 25 knocked in. Really finished the first half strong as he swings and misses. Finished with one hand on the bat as a slider broke away from him. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Has done some damage against the Revs. And Williamson gets a called third. Came right back at him quickly and got the call with the outside corner, perhaps extended a bit. It was a cutter, though. May have grazed the black. And a big strikeout for out number 2. And he will now face Mike McDade, our first look at him. The cleanup man, playing in his 10th game with Lancaster. And the first pitch, it is up and away, a changeup. McDade through 9 games, hitting at .250. No home runs, 1 RBI. There's the 1-0. And a swing and a miss. Changeup had him well out early on it. McDade, a big presence in the right-hand box. 6'1", 250. Pitch, he swings, grounds it to the hole, it's short. Valdez backhands, plants, and throws him out. Beautiful play from Wilson Valdez, who backhanded and had a lengthy throw. And McDade, who does not have speed as one of his top traits, is thrown out by plenty at first base, but Valdez had to show off the arm on that play regardless. The leadoff double does not score. And at the end of a half inning, it's the Barnstormers nothing, and the Revs coming up.
Hi, this is Tom Dasher, president of Tom Dasher Investment Services. I specialize in retirement planning and strategies to meet individual personal goals. Whether you are looking for wealth accumulation or to maximize your retirement income. Oh, heck, this is sounding just like another commercial. Hey, listen, it's this simple. We use risk-free investment vehicles, whether you are looking to still build wealth accumulation or you want retirement income or a combination of both. It is all about getting your money parked in the place that will benefit you the most. If you want to do that, call me. My office number is 246-3879, or my mobile is 487-2096, or contact me at my new website at tomdasher.com.
An invasive pest that's already killed millions of ash trees is bearing down on our communities. The emerald ash borer, or EAB, means certain death for every ash tree it infects. The good news is that you can protect your property's ash trees with help from Heritage Lawn and Landscape Care. Our EAB prevention methods are effective, environmentally safe, and less costly than removing your dead tree, which is the only alternative to prevention. Learn more at heritagelawnandlandscape.com.
I'm Melissa. I teach 10th grade English.
And I'm Melissa when she was in 10th grade at Connections Academy.
That was the year my teachers changed the way I looked at literature.
Our class discussions opened my eyes.
At Connections Academy, the great courses and personal attention really made a difference.
I'm more confident.
My Connections Academy teachers inspired me so much, I became one myself.
I better read faster.
Connections Academy, the tuition-free online public school for grades K through 12. Visit connectionsacademy.com.
All about local sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOIK.
Logan Williamson works past the leadoff bloop double. James Simmons to lead off in his Revs debut. Gardner's first pitch of the night is over for a called strike. Simmons, who had been with Bridgeport since 2012. And in there leading off right away, the pitch to him, it is in tight. He started the turn but kept the hands back as Gardner crowded him in near his knees. Simmons wearing number 1. After signing earlier today, Mace said he got here about 4 p.m. after they had agreed at 8 p.m. last night. He swings here and trickles a foul to the left of home plate. And when time permits, which was not today, we'll have to run his all-time numbers in this park, but he has had some huge games here in York. There's the wind and the 1-2. And a swing and a comebacker, and Gardner reaches up to glove it. He'll jog to first and underhand it off. And Simmons hit it sharply, but grounds back to the pitcher to start things off. Revs lineup brought to you by Flying Feet here in a scoreless game. Simmons in center. Eric Patterson at second. He's next. Brian Pounds, the third baseman, hits third. Andres Perez at first base, batting cleanup. And Nick Ferdinand in left will hit fifth. Jacob Calderon, the DH, hits sixth. Brandon Boggs in right, Luis De La Cruz catching, and Wilson Valdez at short as Patterson looks over a strike. Again, it's Simmons, Patterson, Pounds, Perez, Ferdinand, Calderon, Boggs, De La Cruz, and Valdez. As Gardner catches the outside corner on the next one. And ahead of Patterson, no balls and 2 strikes. A wind and the pitch. And a swing and a foul tip, glanced off of Apodaca. Patterson hitting at 240 through the first half, which, of course, included a quad strain that had him sidelined a few weeks. Another 0-2. Oh, way upstairs. Fortunately, it wasn't a little more inside. That thing was head high, and Apodaca had to stand to catch it. 1-2, and a swing and a foul back against the net. Joe Gardner coming in is 3-1 with a .292 earned run average for the season. 6 starts. Another 1-2, and a swing and a foul back as Patterson battles another one off. Gardner in 37 innings, 29 hits, opponents hitting .215, 9 walks, 20 Ks. And he deals, and Patterson attempts to check and does so on the appeal to third base. He lays off a low changeup. That's one that you start stepping toward and falling toward slightly, and that's a tough one to stay back on. The 2-2. And that misses inside a fastball. He has had a quality at bat, works it all the way to a full count. A wind and the 3-2. And he swings and skies one to right center. Hit fairly well, but playable for Galvez, the right fielder. Calls off Collier and makes the play, and that's out number 2. Good at bat, though, from Patterson, who scrapped and clawed for everything he could up there and got it all the way to a full count. Had been behind 0-2 to start. Here's Brian Pounds with 2 away. He played in the All-Star game on Wednesday night. Comes in hitting at .287. A couple of home runs and 25 knocked in. And the pitch from Gardner misses low. One of the fun tidbits of research today was to look at the Revs All-Star Game starters, of which they had 4. It was the 1-0, and that misses low. And look back and see the last time that a player started for the Revs at that position in an All-Star Game. For Pounds, he started at third. The only other one to do that in Revs history, Vince Harrison in 2011 here in York, as he lays off high, and it's 3 balls and no strikes. Gardner takes a moment. He's got the high socks look tonight, the high black stockings. Here's the 3-0, and he got that one over for a strike. Pounds, who was 0 for 1 in the All-Star game, but did draw a walk. He's tied for the league lead in walks with 34. And the 3-1. And now he leads the league with 35 walks as Gardner misses high. And the Revs with a 2-out base runner. They have faced Gardner twice this season. He came in here and held the Revs to 1 hit in 7 innings back on June 10th, and then they got to him in a game in Lancaster about a week and a half later. Here's Andres Perez, who's hitting at 252. First pitch is in at the knees, a strike called. Fastball at 88. Perez only 3 home runs, but represented the Revs in the home run derby. On Wednesday night, he certainly has the power. It's the 0-1, and it misses down and away. The home run derby was won by Wellington Dotel of the home team in Bridgeport. Perez, who started at first base in the All-Star game, the only other one to do that in Revs history. Ian Blader grown in 2010 as he swings here and comes up empty. Fastball down in the zone, 1-2. Starts the second half, 5 hits away from tying the Revs career record. He's got 378. James Shanks had 383. Runner at first with 2 outs. 1-2. And he swings, hits a little tapper foul. Comes to a stop about 20 feet to the left of home plate. Perez, who drove in a run and scored a run in that All-Star game. Freedom Division won it 5-1. And a move to first as Pounds falls back on the bag. Have a little cloud cover tonight, but the sun's been shining through that all day, as it is here in our first inning this evening. No score. Not the field brightly lit with sun. The shadows starting between the mound and the plate. As Perez swings and fouls one back to the top of the net. And he will make Gardner continue to battle. Gardner, who's won 3 straight decisions, his last start, a win over Camden on Friday night, 8 innings, 1 run. Didn't walk any in that game. He's got 3 straight quality starts. Another 1-2. Pounds running. It's a breaking ball away, and Apodaca can't get the grip to even make a throw. It slipped out of his hand reaching in. And Brian Pounds with a stolen base. Got his 4th steal of the year. And into scoring position. It'll be 2-2 on Perez, who laid off. Now Gardner the stretch. The 2-2. And a swing and a loop toward the line in right field. And it is just foul. Just faded foul down into the corner. And that surprised me. I thought when I left the bat it was going to be fair. Maybe had a little fade to it. The wind is slightly breezing left to right, which didn't help Perez's case. Pounds was all the way around to the plate. He'll hand the bat back to Dre. Just missed. Gardner's last 5 starts have been against either York or Camden. Now he's ready. Deals home, and a swing and a miss. Perez just missed, giving the Revs a first inning lead. And Gardner comes back to get him on a fastball to end the inning. No runs, no hits. Revs leave a runner. We go to the second tonight, no score.
Broadway transmission? I don't know how they do it.
We've been in business for 60 years at the same location.
I don't know how they do it.
It's our long-term nationwide warranties.
Oh, and don't forget our online appointment scheduling.
I still don't know how they do it.
They toted my van at no cost with my repair.
It's our ATRA certified technicians. Don't forget the good-looking genius in the office.
Come on, man.
I know they helped me with financing. Still, with my bad credit, I don't know how they do it.
I did my research and felt comfortable that Broadway is a AAA approved specialty repair shop. I showed my AAA card and saved some hard-earned cash.
I was happy to get a $100 rebate in the mail after the job was done.
I sure don't know how they do it, but I do know they get it done, and they get it done right.
Broadway Transmission. We'll get your shift together and back on the road fast. Check us out on the web at BroadwayTrans.com or stop in and see how it's done.
WellSpan has helped many professional, student, and recreational athletes stay at the top of their game. And they can do the same for you. With a full spectrum of care, including sports nutrition, concussion management, orthopedic surgery, and physical therapy, our winning team can help you prevent an injury or treat one. For immediate care, call 1-877-482-5420. or visit wellspan.org/sportsmedicine.
For local sports on your smartphone, search WOIK at the App Store.
Top of the second, no score here tonight. Logan Williamson working past a leadoff bloop double in the top of the first. And the Revs just missed grabbing an early lead as Andres Perez made a bid for a potential bloop double, assuming it would be two bases, hitting it toward the corner and right. His next double will be his 90th with York, the all-time leader. Brian Cavazos Galvez leads off inning number 2, and Williamson's first pitch is just off the plate away. Galvez hitting at .250, 10 home runs, 41 driven in. The pitch, yeah, that's down low. The Galvez, Hughes, and Apodaca due up. 3 right-hand hitters for Williamson to face. The 2-0, that one's right over for a strike. Williamson, a rough one last time out. 2-1. And a swing and a bouncer to third. Pounds backs up, reads the hop, fires across, and gets him at first. A 2-hopper to third and 1 away here to begin the second inning. Williamson, a 9-1 loss in Bridgeport on Saturday night, the 4th of July. He went 3+ innings in that game. Looked like he was going to get off to a good start, retired the first 4 that he faced. Here's Luke Hughes, and he looks at a first pitch strike. Hughes hitting at .265, 2 homers, 8 knocked in. The 0-1, and that's down and in. His first home run with Lancaster came in this park about a month ago. Actually, a month ago yesterday. The 1-1. And a ground ball to short. Valdez to his left. He lines it up and slings it across. And 2 down on a pair of ground balls here in the second. Williamson entered his last start at .266 ERA, 6th in the league, and it jumped up by 1 full run. The start before that, he was on his game. He beat Sugar Land 1-0 here in this ballpark. And he bounced back in the All-Star game, a 1-2-3 inning with a pair of strikeouts in his performance. Pitched the 4th inning. Here's Juan Apodaca, who's hitting at .212. Pitch from Williamson is a tad high. Apodaca with the home run and 6 ribbies. A 1-0. And a swing and a pop fly to shallow right center. Boggs and Simmons. It'll be Boggs who calls him off and makes the catch. Those two played next to one another in Bridgeport last season. And Boggs in right field tonight handles that one. A 1-2-3 second for Williamson. We've played an inning and a half here in the second half. There is no score.
And now a baseball tutorial from Maple
Donuts.
The single.
Grabbing your favorite maple donut for breakfast.
The double.
Grabbing an extra maple donut for later.
The brush back.
Brushing the white off your shirt after biting into a fresh powdered sugar maple donut.
The ground rule double.
Quickly retrieving the 2 maple donut holes that got away.
What? 5-second rule. Charlie Donut and the Boys of Summer have a winning lineup waiting for you right now at Maple Donuts. Pick up a fresh hot cup of Maple Donuts famous coffee and one of Charlie Donut's 58 varieties. The perfect double play combination.
The steal.
Opening the box only to discover that someone stole your favorite maple donut.
Hey.
The home run.
Showing up at work with a Maple Donuts Baker's Dozen.
Maple Donuts tastes right.
Joel's Painting and Contracting is a proud sponsor of the York Revolution. They are also a partner in the maintenance of Santander Stadium. Joel's Painting and Contracting is the highest rated painting company in York and Lancaster County. Now is the time to call for great deals on all of your interior and exterior projects. A community partner with thousands of happy clients. Hit a home run of Joel's Painting and schedule an appointment today or give them a call at 717-471-4273. That's 717-471-4273 for Joel's Painting and Contracting.
Your teams all the time. York's only place for local sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
No score. We go to the bottom of the second. Nick Ferdinand to lead things off. I looked down as we were coming back and was surprised that Joe Gardner was still going through his warm-ups and kind of taking his time, and it looked like the plate on Bill Worthington told him to keep it moving. And he looked in at the plate ump and said, "My bad," although his catcher, Apodaca, ended the top half of the inning. Here's Ferdinand leading off, and Gardner misses inside to start him off. Ferdinand at an even 300 with the batting average. The 1-0. And that is over for a called strike. 6 home runs, 13 knocked in. One of the unquestioned great moments of the first half, his debut game, as he tried to check but went around on a slider. And it's a ball and 2 strikes. Followed by Calderon and Boggs here in the second. It's the 1-2. And that misses in the dirt and outside. Gardner, a 6'4" righty, listed at 220 pounds. He's from Santa Clara, California. 27-year-old. And winds and comes home. And a little high. Good eye from Ferdinand. Gardner can't help but smile as he walked toward home plate to catch the throw back. He thought maybe he had him. I understand that during the NBA Finals he was a rabid Golden State fan. He deals, and it's beaten foul at the plate as Ferdinand stays alive. Makes sense given his Northern California roots. Wind and the pitch. And it misses high. Revs work out their second walk early on against Gardner, who snaps at the throw back his way. Pounds had a 2-out walk in the first. Ferdinand a leadoff walk here in the second. And here's Jacob Calderon. Calderon DHing. Hitting at 284 as he stands in. First pitch is a called strike, inner cut. Got 3 home runs, 11 knocked in. Gardner ready. Long hold, and Calderon will ask for time. Our Heritage Lawn and Landscape Care home run contest tonight. Emily Carl has been selected, and she's probably here, so If any of you listening may want to let her know. Emily Carl, our contestant tonight, good luck. Here's the 0-1, and that misses in the dirt. The Revs player goes yard in this one. Emily can win. Tomorrow night, it might be you. And matter of fact, we made a Facebook post on the Revs page today taking applicants for the second half. So if you haven't done it yet, simply hop over there and like that post, and you will be entered in the lucky bin as Gardner throws over. Checking in on Ferdinand again. Long hold, the 1-1, and a swing and a miss. He went off speed and had Calderon way out in front of it. The last time the Revs faced Gardner, June 22nd in Lancaster, and he took a one-hitter into the fifth, but gave up 2 in the fifth, 4 in the sixth, including a 3-run homer by Calderon. He went 5 1/3 that night, 6 runs, 4 earned, and a no decision. 1-2, and he misses down and in. Ferdinand took him deep that night as well. They both attacked that right field porch in Lancaster, but Calderon about hit his to Mannheim. 2-2. And he chops it back to the mound. Gardner gloves, throws to second. Zawadzki the relay to first. It's in time. A 1-6-3 double play. And that's the second time tonight that Gardner has caught one a little bit above cap high. And on a one-hopper back to the mound, we mentioned he stands 6'4". So the base is empty with 2 outs. Revs still looking for their first hit. Brandon Boggs will step in. No score here in the second inning tonight. First pitch to Boggs is a little high, evidently. Gardner looking a little bothered that he didn't get that call. Now the 1-0. And that's in for a strike. Boggs, a multi-hit game in the All-Star game. He led off and played center field. Went 2 for 5 with a run scored. 1-1. And it misses outside, a changeup. The other 2 to start in center field for the Revs in an All-Star game. Scott Grimes and Val Majewski, so he joined those 2. Pitch here is swung on and missed, a changeup. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gardner kicks and delivers. And it's in tight as Boggs twists away. Gardner started to walk off the mound, and again is left looking in. He thought he might be getting that one, but did not. A full count. And now he winds, and the 3-2. Swung on, grounded back to him. He knocks it down. He will make a long underhand toss to first to end the inning. And he's done a fabulous job of fielding his position early tonight. This one was low to the ground. And the big 6'4" righty reacted to it and got the glove down to knock it down. No runs, no hits, nobody left. We go to the third, still scoreless.
I'm Brandon. I'm an EMT.
And I'm Brandon. When he was in 8th grade.
With Dad's job, we moved around a lot.
So I went to school online at Connections Academy.
Virtual education was more flexible, and I learned to think independently.
I got way organized.
That paid off junior year when I started going to high school here in town, and it's paying off now.
Whoa, you look cool in that uniform.
I know, right? We look cool.
Connections Academy, the tuition-free online public school for grades K through 12. Visit connectionsacademy.com.
Providing quality services efficiently and in a timely manner to its clients is the mission of the law firm of Griffith, Strickler, Lerman, Salamis & Calkins. GSLSC is equipped to handle any real estate transactions, leases, residential and commercial real estate settlements, zoning issues, and all matters involving municipalities. They are also experienced in the formation and operation of family real estate ventures that are tax sensitive to the needs of the investors. Griffith, Strickler, Lerman, Salamis & Calkins is an approved title insurance agency and can provide you with title insurance and legal representation at one low cost when buying a home or investment property. Don't risk any real estate settlement without an experienced real estate attorney from the law firm of Griffith, Strickler, Lerman, Salamis & Calkins at your side. Phone 717-757-7602. They've been handling residential and commercial real estate matters in South Central Pennsylvania for more than 50 years. With mortgage interest rates at an all-time low, now is the time to buy or refinance. Phone 717-757-7602 today or visit their website, gslsc.com.
York Sports on your mobile device or online at WOYK1350.com.
Top of the third, no score tonight here on opening night part 2. Paul Braverman joins us in the booth as we start the third. Good evening, Paul. It's nice to be able to just reach over and hit reset, isn't it? Sometimes.
Yes, indeed. Although it was more like opening night part guh, because, of course, first batter in the game dunks in a foul ball in no man's land for a double.
Here's Lance Sawadsky as Williamson misses right down the middle to him to start off the inning.
Yes, you're already in mid-season form, literally mid-season form.
And now a make-up call on one that he needed a golf club to hit. It's a ball and a strike.
Right down the middle for ball one, and arm nearly fully extended for strike one, but I guess that's why makeup calls exist. It's all even now.
Oh, everybody's happy with that, I'm sure. Here's a swing and a soft tapper, right side of the infield. Perez flips to Williamson, who wins the race by just a step in front of Zawadski. Fortunately, Zawadski didn't run right up his back. They were neck and neck, and there's one away.
You know, I find myself looking forward to Logan Williamson's starts. I just like the attitude he brings to the mound. I mean, he's savage. I mean, he slings it in there. Maybe it's his delivery, but he slings it. And when he gets on the hill, obviously it's not just good enough for him to pitch well. He wants to have a good game. I'd like to see him hit, quite frankly. But what I mean by that is, he covers every bag. He backs every play up. I mean, it's just not good enough to hit your spots and throw hard. He wants to have a good game.
He's probably the type that, given the opportunity, would love to have a chance to help himself.
Yeah. Especially a couple starts early this season. He had to be, perfect, put up a 0 to win.
Here's Anderson Feliz, and he dribbles the first one to second. Right there's Patterson. He'll throw on to first. Another ground out for Williamson. Now we'll pause 10 seconds for station identification here on Revolution Radio.
First in York, first in sports. Your only local sports station. The new Sports Radio 1350. WOYK, York, Pennsylvania.
2 down on ground balls. We go to the top of the order, and Zach Collier, who had that bloop double just inside the line and left on the first pitch of the game. Williamson to face him the second time. He fires, and a cutter just off the corner away for ball one. Collier in his Atlantic League debut did that. Here after I had pumped up the hopeful change in fortunes for the Revs. He bloops a double. This one is skied to center. Plenty of room, though, for James Simmons, who backs up. Fairly deep in center, but he had it all the way. And Williamson with another 1-2-3 inning. We'll go to the bottom half of the third. No score.
Core Design Group, a local architectural and structural engineering firm, is celebrating 10 years of serving its partners in York County and beyond. Core specializes in commercial, healthcare, houses of worship, industrial, higher education, and residential. For more information, visit our new website at www.core-designgroup.com or call 717-741-2046.
Whether it's for sport, protection, or recreation, Spar Firearms is the best place to go for all of your firearm needs. With a large selection of new and used firearms, Spar carries an array of brands, as well as ammo and other accessories. Whether you're an avid collector, sharpshooting expert, hunter, or weekend enthusiast, Spar Firearms provides everything you need no matter your experience. For the best in convenience, selection, and customer service, visit Spar Firearms, 6108 Carlisle Pike in Mechanicsburg, and online at sparfirearms.com.
Revolution! Summer is in full swing at Santander Stadium. 2015 brings incredible entertainment, amazing giveaways, and of course, fireworks. On July 13th, gold medalist and Penn State head coach Cale Sanderson will make a special appearance on Wrestling Night. Meet him and get an autograph. See you at the Revolution game on July 13th. Revolution!
First in York, first in sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
This is Hall of Fame third baseman Brooks Robinson. You're listening to York Revolution Baseball on the home of the Revs. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
No score. We go to the bottom half of the third tonight, and Luis De La Cruz will lead things off. He batted second in the All-Star Game's starting lineup behind Brandon Boggs. He was starting catcher for the Freedom Division. Back to work for his full-time employer tonight. First pitch is inside from Gardner for ball one.
All-Star Game lineups are always so weird. When you've got a team full of guys who all hit 3 through 6, somebody's got to hit second.
There's a strike on the outside corner to him. Yeah, that one caught my eye. Gardner with the 1-1. And a swing and a bouncer, deep short. Zawadzki backhands and an off-balance throw. Pulled McDade up high, but he came down and got the tag into De La Cruz's chest. One away on the ground out to short. De La Cruz joining John Pichot and Octavio Martinez as Revs starting catchers in All-Star Game history.
Well, both teams brought their gloves here to start the second half, that's for sure. There's been some nifty fielding on both sides.
Here's Wilson Valdez, who saved a first-inning run with his backhand play. Batting at .242. Last season he was in that All-Star Game as he looks at a strike. And last year it was tougher to make it. It was one team of Atlantic League All-Stars playing
That's right.
the home team Sugarland.
Forgot about that.
Did he go around? Pitch was up, and he did not. His body pulled the bat through, but his wrists did not offer a swing. The Barnstormers appealing on that pitch that was up high. First base ump Doug McFarling said no-go. And it's a ball and a strike. Gardner with the pitch. And a swing and a miss on a fastball up.
You want to hear an amazing stat on some players that should have and would have played in the All-Star Game this year. Sugarland had 2 guys picked up today, and with Shannon Wilkerson last night to the Twins from the Revolution roster, that's 40.
Here's a swing and a floater at first. McDade is there on the bloop, and he catches it. And that's out number 2 as Valdez got jammed.
40 Atlantic League players thus far this season having their contracts purchased by MLB organizations, and that is by far a record for a first half. And the Wilkerson deal to the Twins for York, which is our first of the year, and then the 2 for Sugarland today, just sneaking in before the start of the second half, a record half in that department for the league.
Here's James Simmons, who swings through a slider. So the system is alive and well for players who want that next chance.
Well, it's really this simple, and we've talked about it on other programs.
There's a swing and a miss, another slider.
That there's enough players out there for there to be between 35 and 40 AAA teams, and not the 30 that exist one for each club, and those players are here. This is the de facto third AAA league. It's that simple.
0-2, and that misses down and away. Simmons, the newest Rev, with some AAA time himself in the Giants system.
And, there's a document in both league offices, meaning the Atlantic League and Major League Baseball, signed by Rick White, our league president, and Joe Torre, and it's tough to even say independent anymore. I mean, we have a working agreement with Major League Baseball for player development and guys to be signed to go to AA and AAA, and it might not be affiliated, but it's not really independent anymore either.
Yeah. Simmons, a foul tip here on one that he was just trying to get out of the way on, in against his hands.
I always wanted Joe Torre's autograph. Now, I had it in my email, seeing the document that was scanned in. Not quite the same thing, but it's still pretty cool.
You going to print the document?
I already did.
Add it to your wall of weird or whatever you have there in at your office.
Oh, that's right.
Another 1-2. And a swing and a bouncer foul down to Polo at third.
There's some gems in there. My favorite thing is the best suggestions from 3rd and 4th grade kids on what the mascot should be named back in 2007 before Downtown debuted. And it's hilarious because not only were the suggestions great, but those kids are in college now.
Swinging a foul ball off to the right and out of play. Simmons up there battling. He grounded back to Gardner his first time. Hit it sharply, though.
Two off the top of my head were Sir Yorkster Score a Lot, which is pretty good, and Cadoris the Revolution Fever Beaver. Those are two actual suggestions for what Downtown should have been named as the mascot before we played a game.
Pitch inside.
It's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Not bad.
2-2 on Simmons.
2-2.
It's pretty good for 4th and 5th
Yeah,
graders.
I couldn't come up with anything that clever now, let alone at that age.
Pitch on the way, and a swing and a miss. Got him on the slider. Now Gardner with a 1-2-3 inning. And we will go to the 4th. Paul with the call when we come back. 3 in the books tonight in the second half opener. No score.
Remember when the goal was to see how fast you could run home from school, play 99 straight innings of wiffle ball, or jump up onto anything? At WellSpan Health, we think making time to play is still a great goal. Being healthy is how you get there. And just in case your grown-up body can't keep up with your inner child, WellSpan Orthopedics walk-in injury care is there to help with a team specially trained in treating sprains, strains, and broken bones. If you have a WellSpan primary care physician, your visit is added to your electronic health record so your doctor may coordinate any follow-up care. You never need an appointment, and both our Apple Hill location in York and our new Hanover Orthopedics location are open evenings and weekends. You can get all the details about orthopedic walk-in injury care at wellspan.org/injury. At WellSpan Health, it's our goal to help you get healthy and stay healthy, no matter how old you are or how young you feel.
Tires aren't all the same, and neither are tire dealers. So find a dealer who carries Michelin and BF Goodrich tires. Michelin offers safe, fuel-efficient, long-lasting tires that provide exceptional performance and extraordinary value. BF Goodrich tires are built for drivers looking for high performance and aggressive styling. Next time you need tires, don't deal with amateurs. See the tire experts. The friendly, knowledgeable sales team at L&M Tire and Wheel in Abbottstown can help you take changing weather in stride and save.
Your county, your teams. Sports Radio 1350 WOIK. First in York, first in sports.
Top of the 4th inning, the Revs and Barnstormers scoreless here tonight as the second half gets underway from Santander Stadium. Paul Braverman, glad you could join me for the middle innings. The only hit thus far belonging to the Barnstormers, a leadoff double by Zach Collier in his first Atlantic League at-bat back in the first. Wilson Bautista, Kevin Rivers, Mike McDade, 2-3-4 for the Stormers, due up here in the top of the 4th. Logan Williamson goes back to work with a called strike. On the outer corner to Willie Batts, 0-for-1, flew out to Boggs in right field back in the first. Williamson works quickly, back to work quickly, outside with it. 1-1 the count to Bautista. The righty batter steps back in, 1-1 on the way, low inside at the shoot tops. 2-1 the count to Wilson Batista. He was a Rev for the duration of the 2013 season before going to Mexico and ending back up in the Atlantic League across the river with the Barnstormers. Williamson kicks and fires, long line drive, but foul out of play on the left field side of Santander Stadium. 2-2 is the count. Batista joined Lancaster June 20th at the tail end of the first half. He was hitting .287 with 4 home runs for Saltillo in Mexico. So head-scratching release there, but in the Mexican League, if you don't hit home runs, they usually send you on your way, and Batista released despite hitting .287 in the Mexican League. The 2-2 is popped up into shallow left. Ferdinand coming on. He makes the catch. Called off Valdez from short, who went out to take a look. Batista retired. Nobody on base, 1 down here in the top of the 4th. No score from downtown York tonight. Kevin Rivers now 0 for 1, struck out looking in the first. He is Logan Williamson's lone strikeout victim thus far. Ball 1 over the plate but misses low. Logan Williamson has been perfect since Collier blooped a leadoff double down the left field line but was stranded at third in the first. No base runners against Williamson, and just as I say that, liner to short off the outstretched glove of Valdez. He leapt for it off the top of his glove, off the lip, dropping into left center for a hit. So Kevin Rivers on with a single, 1 out, 1 on for the Stormers here in the top of the 4th in a scoreless game. That snaps a streak of 10 consecutive batters retired, dating back to the first inning for Logan Williamson. Mike McDade now 0 for 1, grounded to short in the first. Called strike on the outside corner. 0-1 is the count. Barnstormer first baseman, also a newcomer. As we transition from first to second half, McDade joined Lancaster on June 26th with a week to go in the first half. It'll be an 0-1 from Williamson. The southpaw deals, grounded weakly beyond the mound to second. Patterson's only play will be at first. He makes that play. And it's a 4-3 ground out. McDade's 0 for 2. A slow roller that hopped up over Williamson on the mound. Because it took its time getting to Patterson at second, he had no play with Rivers running. And gets the sure thing at first. He might have had a chance with a backhand flip to Valdez at short to get the lead runner, Rivers, on the force. But for the second out of the inning and an easy play at first, he took the sure thing and was wise to do so. Brian Cavazos Galvez, Barnstormer right fielder, 0 for 1 with a ground out to third. First pitch swinging, ground ball up the middle, past Williamson, and behind the bag, it's fielded by Patterson. Snap throw to third, diving back in is Rivers safely, and it's an infield single for Cavazos Galvez. So first pitch swinging, another lazy grounder that just hopped up over the glove of Williamson on the hill. Tried to make the play. Had he, it would have been an easy toss to first to end the half inning. Once again, Patterson, his options were limited because it was another weakly hit grounder, 2 in a row now for Lancaster, that took time to get to him. And after Rivers overran third a little bit, had to dive back, the snap throw couldn't get him, and Cavazos Galvez was going to beat it out at first with or without a throw. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. Nobody has scored in this one. Lancaster with 3 hits, all 3 very weakly hit. The liner to Valdez was not especially well struck, but after a leap off the top lip of his glove, so nothing groundbreaking for Lancaster here, but Logan Williamson does find himself in a bit of a 2-out jam. Again, 2 on and 2 out. Luke Hughes, the second baseman for the Barnstormers, 0 for 1 with a ground out to short. Takes a pair low from Williamson. He's out ahead, 0-2. Rivers at third. Cavazos Galvez at first after a pair of singles. Throw to first, Cavazos Galvez diving back in safely. Head first ahead of the tag of Andres Perez. Logan Williamson trying to strand a pair here and send us to the bottom of the 4th, still scoreless. From the stretch, the lefty deals a 2-0 to the plate. Grounded foul, third base side, weakly. Off the handle of the bat by Hughes, and the count is 2-1. Luke Hughes does have big league time with the Minnesota Twins. How about this? He homered off Max Scherzer of the Tigers in his first major league at bat. Max Scherzer, now with the Nationals, of course, in the news frequently for no-hitters, near no-hitters, or near perfect games. So that's quite a memory for Luke Hughes, homering off Scherzer in his first big league plate appearance. Missing outside to the righty was Williamson. It'll be a 3-1 to the righty bat. And instead, we'll wait as Williamson tosses to first. Cavazos Galvez not out to an especially big lead as Perez holding him on. He's back standing up. It'll be a 3-1 offering if Williamson goes home with it to Hughes. And the southpaw fires, swing and a pop-up. Right at Ferdinand in left, coming in a bit. He makes the play on a jog. And the Revolution strand 2 Barnstormers on the corners. Revs coming up looking for their first hit of the night. Still, as we go to the bottom of the fourth, no score from Santander Stadium on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
You line your feet up at the edge of the starting block, shake out your arms, and then you push off the block in one fluid motion, fully extending your body, cutting into the water with nothing on your mind but the mechanics. You're a swimmer, and whether it's practice time in the Flying Feet is with you every stroke of the way. Flying Feet. Flying Feet Sports Shoes is a swimmer's paradise. Get suits by Finis, Dolphin, Nike, Adidas, Speedo, Arena, and Tier. Pick up practice gear, team gear, and training equipment like fins, snorkels, and kickboards. The Flying Feet team has high-tech competitive suits, customizable caps, goggles, even goggle repair items. Shower down with swimmer shampoo and body wash, plus suit wash to limit the wear and tear of chlorine. Time to dive into the pool? Then it's time for Flying Feet Sports Shoes. Flying Feet. 1511 Mount Rose Avenue, York, just off exit 18 of I-83 next to Battery Warehouse.
Hi, this is Tom Dasher, president of Tom Dasher Investment Services. I specialize in retirement planning and strategies to meet individual personal goals. Whether you are looking for wealth accumulation or to maximize your retirement income. Oh, heck, this is sounding just like another commercial. Hey, listen, it's this simple. We use risk-free investment vehicles, whether you are looking to still build wealth accumulation or you want retirement income or a combination of both. It is all about getting your money parked in the place that will benefit you the most. If you want to do that, call me. My office number is 246-3879, or my mobile is 487-2096, or contact me at my new website at tomdasher.com.
Follow York Sports on your Android. Search Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Bottom of the fourth inning, no score from Santander Stadium. Revolution still looking for their first hit of the night and of the second half. Patterson pounds Perez, the killer peas, if you will. 2-3-4 in the Revolution order. Due up in the home half of the fourth. They don't actually call themselves that, although it works tonight as they hit in succession. Patterson flew out to right field in the first. The lefty steps in. Joe Gardner back to work for the Barnstormers outside. And the count 1-0. Gardner down to a 2.70 ERA, putting in some quality work on that with 3 scoreless to begin the night. Righty deals and deals high at the waist of Patterson. If it missed just barely up in the strike zone. 2-0 is the count. And Gardner deals. Called for a strike on the inner half that time. Eric Patterson, final 2 games of the first half, went 0 for 7 with 6 strikeouts, but he was on fire before that setback. And here's the 2-1 pitch, lined the other way, down for a hit into left field. In front of the warning track, Rivers has it. He does a good job of getting it back on the infield quickly. It's a Santander single to left field for Patterson, but the Revolution have the leadoff man on. Here to begin their fourth. It's their first hit of the ball game, and the second time they've had the leadoff man on. Ferdinand led the second with a walk. So Brian Pounds, who walked in his first plate appearance, stole a base but was stranded at second in the first. Will get a chance to hit with a runner on base here. The righty steps in. Before that tough end of the first half, Patterson had multiple hits in 3 of his previous 4 games, and he's got the Revs' first hit of the second half tonight. Big cut and a miss by Pounds, chasing it on the outer half of the plate. 0-1 the count. Pounds perhaps swinging to make it 2-0 and get these fans out of their seats here. As a late arriving crowd finally finishes filing in on a perfect night for baseball. Couldn't ask for better weather all weekend long. Mid-80s with a breeze and a 10% or less chance of rain, so let's call it 0% chance for this 3-game series through Sunday between the Revolution and Barnstormers. It's a 7-game homestand. The Sugarland Skeeters come in for 4 games Monday through Thursday after this series. 0-1 misses low, Pounds at a ball and a strike. From the stretch, with a runner on base, Gardner will pitch. Being held on is Patterson after his leadoff single. Hit the other way to left, low and away, and the count is 2-1 to Brian Pounds. Pounds returning after missing about 10 days with that strained meniscus in his knee. Was back in time to play in the All-Star game in Bridgeport a couple nights ago, and back as the everyday Revolution third baseman. It'll be a 2-1. Gardner fires, swinging a pop-up. It's fouled off. First base side out of play. 2-2 the count to Brian Pounds. Pounds leads the Atlantic League in walks. That was his 35th in the first inning. Since returning from that knee injury, which kept him out starting June 23rd to June 30th, he's 7 for 18. That's a .389 clip with 2 doubles and 3 RBI in 5 games since returning from the knee injury. So Pounds swinging a good bat. 2-2 pitch, again fouled off in the air, first base side and out of play. So Pounds, 287 with 2 homers and 25 RBI. Nothing that'll jump off the page from you if you're just looking at basic stats, but it's all about on-base percentage, and he's leading the league in walks with 35, so make no mistake, even though he's hitting below 300, he's as good as about a .320 hitter for this offense this year, with as much as he's gotten on base, leading the league in walks. It'll be a 2-2 to Pounds. Gardner will continue to go from the stretch, a quick throw to first. Patterson out to a decent lead, but not a huge one, as he's held on by McDade, the Lancaster first baseman. 2-2 missing outside, scrambling, sliding to stay in front of it was the catcher Apodaca to prevent a wild pitch and keep Patterson at first. Full count offering to Brian Pounds coming up. Patterson with a line single the other way to left to begin the Revolution fourth here. Revs trying to break a scoreless tie as they lead the 2015 War of the Roses 8-7 over Lancaster this season as the rivalry resumes tonight in downtown York. 3-2 offering from the stretch. Gardner fires. Pounds with a ground ball. Patterson was running on the play, so it won't be 2. To first. Pounds is out. Patterson never stops running. Throw back to third from McDade at first. Sliding in under the tag of Feliz is Patterson, and he gets an extra base with just 1 out. Hit and run was on. 3-2. Pounds grounded to short, which eliminated a double play chance. 6-3 is the putout. Zawadzki to McDade at first, so Pounds is retired, but Patterson never stopped running across second. McDade's throw to Anderson Feliz at third, not in time. Patterson slides in under the tag, so heads up, base running by EP, and a nice hustle play. So a sac fly is available here for Andres Perez. Revs first baseman steps in with 1 out and Patterson at third. Revs trying to take a 1-0 lead in the fourth. Gardner deals, called for a strike. Outer half to Perez, and the count is 0-1 to the righty. Perez 0 for 1, struck out swinging in the first. His 378 hits in a Revolution uniform are 5 behind all-time hit leader James Shanks with 383. Perez needs 6 hits on this 7-game homestand. If he can do that, or more, he'll become the all-time Revolution hits leader here in front of his home fans this week as the Revs are home July 10th through the 16th. Swing and a miss out in front of an off-speed offering by Gardner on the 0-1. 0-2 the count to Perez, trying to put it in the air here with Patterson at third and 1 out. No score in the bottom of the fourth. From the stretch, Gardner looks at Patterson at third and fires, and taking it low and away was Perez, and the count is 1-2. Nick Ferdinand on deck. He'd love to get a chance to hit. with a runner at third here, but sac fly available for Andres Perez. Perez with a Revolution career record 89 doubles, the all-time leading doubles hitter in Revs history. His 90th would give the Revs a 1-0 lead. Here's a slow grounder, tapped up the line at third. Feliz charges at Fields, throws to first for the out. Patterson goes home. The throw back home in time. Patterson tagged out, trying to score, and that'll be the inning. Perez, a swinging bunt up the third base line. Feliz throws him out at first, 5-3. Patterson trying to take an extra base on hustle alone for the second time in the inning. Can't knock the hustle, but this time the Barnstormers get him after he took third. Patterson put out. McDade, the first baseman, to the catcher. Apodaca 1-2 to end the inning. So the Revolution showing a lot of spunk and some good hustle thanks to Eric Patterson in the bottom of the fourth. But the leadoff single and runner at third with one out ultimately does not score. Whew, we go to the fifth, still scoreless on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
An invasive pest that's already killed millions of ash trees is bearing down on our communities. The emerald ash borer, or EAB, means certain death for every ash tree it infects. The good news is that you can protect your property's ash trees with help from Heritage Lawn and Landscape Care. Our EAB prevention methods are effective, environmentally safe, and less costly than removing your dead tree, which is the only alternative to prevention. Learn more at heritagelawnandlandscape.com.
Hey, buddy, what's wrong?
Oh, I just had a rough day at work. I wish I could take a vacation.
Buddy, you don't need to take a vacation to feel like you're on a vacation. You just need Soul Burrito.
Soul Burrito? What's that?
The official burrito of the York Revolution.
Sounds pretty good.
Yup, they have a Jamaican sensation, a delicious coconut curry chicken burrito. The south of the border, a sweet and spicy marinated chicken burrito. And if you're really hungry, try the greedy.
The greedy?
Yes, tender steak roasted and intertwined with marinated chicken stuffed in the burrito. These flavors will tantalize your taste buds.
Wow, never mind a vacation. Let's go to a York Revolution game and get some Soul Burrito.
Let's go.
Soul Burrito. Burritos with a touch of soul.
Hey, sports fans, great news. Now you can listen to Sports Radio 1350 anywhere with the new WOYK mobile apps. Stranded in Siberia? No problem. Kidnapped by wolves? It's not as bad as you may think. Wherever you are, WOYK is with you on the brand new mobile apps. York's only local sports station just went mobile and global. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports. There's only one place for local high school sports. Sports Radio 1350.
We go to the top of the fifth, still scoreless. Here in a War of the Roses, second half lid-lifting showdown between the Revolution and Barnstormers. Bottom third of the Stormer order due up. Here in the visitor half of the fifth, Logan Williamson goes back to work, missing upstairs to the catcher Juan Apodaca, 0 for 1, flew out to right field in the second. The righty stands in, and Williamson kicks and fires. 1-1 pitch, called for a strike. 0-1 is the count. Talking with Lancaster broadcaster Dave Collins between innings there, and for a three-batter inning where no runs were scored, that sure was a lot of action. And if you're just joining us, head on over to YorkRevsTV.com, where all the games are archived, both live and past games, and rewind a little bit and you'll see exactly what I mean. A leadoff single by Eric Patterson nearly scored on some very creative base running despite a couple of groundouts, and action-packed for three batters and no runs. 3-1 is the count to Juan Apodaca here. Logan Williamson will try to avoid a leadoff walk here in the fifth. Swing and a miss on the 3-1. Count is full. 3 hits for the Barnstormers, just 1 for the Revolution in a scoreless stalemate so far here tonight. Apodaca's the K-man down to his final strike here, so Williamson trying to deliver some delicious Little Caesars crazy bread to the breadsticks chanting crowd. It'll be a 3-2 from the full wind. Williamson fires, liner right back at him. Hey, look what I found. To Perez for a little around the horn action as Williamson right back into his glove. The way the lefty finishes, fortuitous there. as he was right on it. Maybe a little bit of luck was involved, but he looked it right into the glove. And a rocket up the middle, right back into the pitcher's mitt. So Juan Apodaca with the line out. There's one down here in the top of the fifth. Lance Zawadski, Lancaster shortstop, grounded out to first with Williamson covering in the third. He's 0 for 1 on a nice hustle play by Logan Williamson. Ball one low to Zawadski, the lefty bat. Williamson's 0-1, misses just off, 1-0, misses just off the plate with De La Cruz setting up outside on the corner. 2-0 is the count here, so Williamson has been behind guys tonight quite a bit, but hasn't really phased him. He's pitched well behind in the count. Hasn't walked anybody. 2 of the 3 hits he has given up. To call them Texas Leaguers would probably be too kind. Nothing really that hardly hit. It'll be a 3-0. The lefty deals, and deals low and away. Walked him on 4 straight pitches, so announcer jinx. But Zawadski with the walk gives Lancaster a 1-out base runner. Top of the fifth here, no score between the Revs and Barnstormers. Anderson Feliz, the third baseman, rounding out the Lancaster batting order for the second time tonight. He grounded to Eric Patterson at second in the third. The righty steps in, and Williamson deals a called strike over the inner half of the plate. 0-1 is the count. From the stretch, the lefty looks at his runner at first, goes home with it. Grounder to third, could be 2, pounds to Patterson for 1, relay back to first, gets by Perez. Throw had to be unloaded in a hurry by Patterson, low, and Perez couldn't pick it. So it'll be a fielder's choice for Feliz. So 2 outs, a runner remains at first, but most importantly, the Revs do get the lead runner. Pounds cheating the line just a little bit with a righty at the plate. A good snag on a hard-hit grounder up the line at third. 5-4 for the putout of Zawadski after his walk at second. And you can't assume the double play, but because the ball got by Perez and was into the Revolution dugout, it will have to be a throwing error on Eric Patterson, and Feliz will be awarded second base because the ball got by the first baseman and went into the dugout. That's a tough break for Patterson because it was a good play just to unload that throw and make it interesting. Too low to handle, and if that gets by Perez, hits off the wall over there and gets right back to him, and the runner doesn't advance, it's no throwing error, but because it went into the dugout, it has to be awarded second base and an error on Patterson, even though, as far as physical errors go, that one's pretty forgivable for Eric Patterson. Quick meeting on the mound here as Mason goes out, more so to talk to the whole team and not Williamson, as all the infielders gather. Talking on how to pitch Zach Collier here, the Lancaster center fielder and leadoff man, as we're back at the top of the order for the third time tonight in the fifth. So with 2 outs, Anderson Feliz at second. Scoreless tie here in the top of the fifth. Logan Williamson trying to keep it that way. So Collier steps in, 1 for 2 so far in his first Atlantic League action. The double in the first, the fly out to center in the third. The lefty steps in. Williamson will go from the stretch with a man at second. The lefty looks at his runner and goes home with it. Upstairs, 1-0 is the count. A fresh start here for both these clubs in the second half. Of course, the Revolution tying their worst first half or half in franchise history, period, with a 24-46 record. That equaled the 2009 Revolution, who also went 24-46 in the first half, en route to a franchise worst full season record of 53-87 that year in 09. Rebounded by winning the Atlantic League title, of course, in 2010 and 2011 after that. Lancaster wasn't much better, finishing 3 games ahead of the Revs at 27-43 overall. The defending Atlantic League champions from 2014 are the Barnstormers. Here's the 1-1. Williamson deals. It's popped up foul. So after the first offering missed high, a called strike, popped foul behind the plate, not a play, and the count is 1-2 to Zach Collier. And the fresh start in the second half for both these clubs see both center fielders batting leadoff tonight in their first games with the club. Zach Collier making his Barnstormers debut, and James Simmons in center field, leading off in his first game for York. So fresh starts all around in center field and at the top of the order for both these clubs. 1-2 pitch, again fouled off. Same exact thing. In the air, back of the plate, not a play. So we'll do it again for a third time at 1-2 to Zach Collier. Logan Williamson a strike away from sending us to the bottom of the fifth with no score. Feliz at second, but nobody paying any attention to him. Williamson locked in on Zach Collier. The lefty will go from the stretch again. De La Cruz sets up on the outer corner. Williamson fires, spots it up, strike three. Second punch out of the night for Williamson. Both of his strikeouts tonight is the looking variety. Revolution coming up in the bottom of the fifth, trying to break a scoreless stalemate on a beautiful Friday night for baseball in downtown York. Back in a moment on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Hi, I'm Jeremy, and I just got into veterinary school.
And I'm Jeremy when he was in the 5th grade.
That's when my parents enrolled me in Connections Academy.
And when we got my puppy Champ, and I started dreaming of being a vet.
They said at Connections Academy I'd have an even brighter future. I had great teachers and classes that really prepared me for college success.
I guess my hard work paid off for you.
Sure did. For all of us. Right, Champ?
Connections Academy, the tuition-free online public school for grades K through 12. Visit connectionsacademy.com.
And now a baseball tutorial from Maple Donuts.
The single.
Grabbing your favorite maple donut for breakfast.
The double.
Grabbing an extra maple donut for later.
The brush back.
Brushing the white off your shirt after biting into a fresh powdered sugar maple donut.
The ground rule double.
Quickly retrieving the 2 maple donut holes that got away.
What? 5-second rule. Charlie Donut and the Boys of Summer have a winning lineup waiting for you right now at Maple Donuts. Pick up a fresh hot cup of Maple Donuts famous coffee and one of Charlie Donut's 58 varieties. The perfect double play combination.
The steal.
Opening the box only to discover that someone stole your favorite maple donut.
Hey.
The home run.
Showing up at work with a Maple Donuts Baker's Dozen.
Maple Donuts taste right.
Hi, this is Dan Patrick. Join me weekday mornings at 9 on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Bottom of the fifth inning, no score tonight from Santander Stadium between the York Revolution and the Lancaster Barnstormers. First of a 7-game homestand. 3 games this weekend with Lancaster and then 4 with the Skeeters to begin the latter half of the year for the homestanding Revs. Ferdinand, Calderon, Boggs, 5, 6, 7 due up here for the home squad in the fifth. Revs left fielder Nick Ferdinand steps in and takes a called strike on the inner half from Joe Gardner, beginning his 5th inning of work. Only Revs hit of the night belongs to Eric Patterson, an opposite field line single to begin the 4th. 0-1 misses low, 1-1 the count to Ferdinand. Paul Braverman, glad he could join me for the middle innings this evening on WOYK. 3 more outs with me. Darrell Henry will return for the top of the 6th. And the 1-1 pitch, grounded foul behind the plate, and the count is 1-2. Nick Ferdinand, in just 30 games with the Revolution, 15 extra base hits. And he's hit safely in 24 of the 30 games he's played for York, but he swings and misses. Nope, got a tip off the foul of the bat, but it was in the glove. Okay. He fouled it off, waving at it, chasing it low and outside. But Apodaca did hold on to the tip, and Ferdinand has struck out. That's the 3rd strikeout of the night for Lancaster's Joe Gardner, all of the swinging variety. Jacob Calderon, who grounded back to the mound in a 1-6-3 double play in the 2nd. So the free swinging lefty steps in here. 3 home runs and 11 RBI on the season for the Revs. Gardner deals. Calderon patiently takes high and away. 1-0 the count to Jacob, spelled Y-E-I-C-O-K, the Dominican Republic native. 1-0 on the way. Grounded behind the plate. 1-1 is the count to Calderon. Calderon, 3 home runs since signing with York on June 16th. His 7th inning solo shot, June 29th, against the Skeeters. The only run in a 1-0 win for the Revolution. So his home runs have counted this year. On the 1-1 pitch, popped up foul behind the plate, not a play. 1-2 is the count to Calderon. It'll be a 1-2 offering. Bases empty, 1 out, no score in the bottom of the 5th. Full windup for Gardner. The righty fires, low and inside. 2-2 is the count. Two offering on the way from Gardner, swinging a foul, grounded again behind the plate. Deflecting toward the Revolution dugout, first base side. So 2-2 for a third time coming up here to Jacob Calderon. Gardner's 2-2 offering, swung on and fisted foul, out of play. Look out, third base side, fans. Off the handle of the bat, luckily keeps the bat intact, fighting off a potential strike three. It looked a little high, but he did fight it off in any event on the inner half of the plate. Gardner trying to jam the lefty, 2-2. The righty winds and fires once more. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Could not lay off one, up in the zone. Might have been ball 3. It's moot now as Calderon down swinging. 2 punch-outs this inning for Joe Gardner, his 4th of the evening of 4 different Revolution batters. Brandon Boggs grounded out to end the 2nd. The lefty will bat with 2 outs here, and the base is empty in the bottom of the 5th. Boggs, a 2-for-5 day at the Atlantic League All-Star Game 2 nights ago in Bridgeport as he batted leadoff for the Freedom Division squad. Tonight's Revolution right fielder did. First pitch swinging, sharp one, hopper to first, and dropping down to a knee, snared by McDade. He'll step on the bag for an out. And it's a 1-2-3 5th inning with 2 strikeouts and a ground out for Lancaster's Joe Gardner. Darrell Henry coming back in a moment for the top of the 6th. Still no score tonight between the Revs and Barnstormers on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Broadway transmission? I don't know how they do it.
We've been in business for 60 years at the same location.
I don't know how they do it.
It's our long-term nationwide warranties.
Oh, and don't forget our online appointment scheduling.
I still don't know how they do it.
They toted my van at no cost with my repair.
It's our ATRA certified technicians. Don't forget the good-looking genius in the office.
Come on, man. I know they help me with financing. Still, with my bad credit, I don't know how they do it.
I did my research and felt comfortable that Broadway is a AAA-approved specialty repair shop. I showed my AAA card and saved some hard-earned cash.
I was happy to get a $100 rebate in the mail after the job was done.
I sure don't know how they do it, but I do know they get it done, and they get it done right.
Broadway Transmission. We'll get your shift together and back on the road fast. Check us out on the web at BroadwayTrans.com or stop in and see how it's done.
Revolution! Summer is in full swing at Santander Stadium. 2015 brings incredible entertainment, amazing giveaways, and of course, fireworks. On July 13th, gold medalist and Penn State head coach Cale Sanderson will make a special appearance on Wrestling Night. Meet him and get an autograph. See you at the Revolution game on July 13th. Revolution!
On air, online, and on your smartphone. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Top of the 6th, and still scoreless. Thanks to Paul Braverman for handling the last 2. And Lancaster with 2, 3, and 4 in the order coming up. As we head to the 6th, the Wilson Batista to lead things off. Batista, Rivers, and McDade do. Logan Williamson's allowed 3 hits. Joe Gardner just 1. Has now allowed just 2 hits in 12 innings in this park this season as Williamson misses away on Batista leading off. He is fly to right and fly to left. There's the 1-0. And that tails away. Still some sunlight through the middle of the field. As it sets off to the third base side. The 2-0, he fakes a bunt, and Williamson pours a strike right through. The last 2 innings, Williamson has worked out of trouble nicely. The 2-1, and this one popped up, jammed him. Valdez will range back from short onto the outfield grass and squeezes it. And there's one away. Fourth inning, they had first and third after a 2-out infield hit, but Williamson got Luke Hughes to fly out. And then last inning, after the double play that perhaps should have been turned, a runner at second, but struck out Zach Collier looking to end that inning. Here's Kevin Rivers, and a curveball misses up and in. Rivers tonight a strikeout and a single to left. 1-0, and that misses low. Rivers was in the All-Star game, no hits in 4 at-bats. Now the 2-0, and a changeup over for a strike. Williamson had gone to 2-0 on each of the first 2 hitters of the inning. The 2-1, and that's on the outside corner, a called strike to even things up. Came back to get Batista, comes back to even it on Rivers, and now fires and misses away. It'll be a full count. Wind and the payoff pitch, down and away, a cutter, and Williamson issues his second walk of the night. Take a look at our WellSpan Sports Medicine injury report. And Mikey Reynolds comes off the list today, activated, coming back from the finger injury, and get the sense that he is super excited to be ready to go again. Could see him play as early as tomorrow. Here's McDade, who lines the first pitch over Williamson and into center. Logan had to duck. And a single back up the middle, of course. Last inning, Williamson snagging a rocket that was hit right back at him. And it's first and second with 1 out. Now the other names that'll be on the list the remainder of the year: Ian Durham, Brad Bergeson, and Anthony LaRue. Durham and Bergeson with the elbows. Bergeson was having an operation last week, he told me. And LaRue, who I did not see today, but apparently was visiting outside the clubhouse. That's good to hear. Had that leg operated on. Your WellSpan Sports Medicine injury report. A visit at the mound from De La Cruz. Valdez came in as well, and the Revs will get some bullpen activity. Brian Cavazos Galvez, the hitter. He is grounded out and reached on an infield single. Williamson into his stretch, trying to keep things scoreless. First pitch is right in for a called strike. Good movement on it. Fastball at 89. Saw one at 90 from Williamson last inning. The 0-1. And in the dirt, and De La Cruz dropped down and got enough of it, kept it right there. Thing almost stayed low and snuck through him, but the tip of his glove, it looked like he knocked it down. Williamson ready. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Galvez tried to kill a changeup. A wild high finish on that swing. No contact. Edward Paredes up into the bullpen for York. Now Williamson into the stretch. And the 1-2 misses away. Try to get Galvez to extend the zone on that fastball. 2-2. And a cutter just inside. Williamson had Galvez probably looking away. And trying to come in and sneak one in on him, but evidently just off. A full count. We'll see if they run here. A scoreless game. Payoff pitch. They're not, and it's rolled toward the hole. Pounds cuts it to his left to second, and they turn the double play. Galvez slams his helmet down. He hits into the inning-ending twin killing. A roller toward the hole, and Pounds ranged to his left to glove it. Fired to second on the run, and Patterson hung in and made the accurate turn. And the Revs will shut down the bullpen activity as Williamson comes back to get through a sixth scoreless inning. No runs on one hit and one left. Still no score as we go to the bottom half of the sixth.
Providing quality services efficiently and in a timely manner to its clients is the mission of the law firm of Griffith, Strickler, Lerman, Salamis & Calkins. GSLSC is equipped to handle any real estate transactions, leases, residential and commercial real estate settlements, zoning issues, and all matters involving municipalities. They are also experienced in the formation and operation of family real estate ventures that are tax sensitive to the needs of the investors. Griffith, Strickler, Lerman, Salamis & Calkins is an approved title insurance agency and can provide you with title insurance and legal representation at one low cost when buying a home or investment property. Don't risk any real estate settlement without an experienced real estate attorney from the law firm of Griffith, Strickler, Lerman, Salamis & Calkins at your side. Phone 717-757-7602. They've been handling residential and commercial real estate matters in South Central Pennsylvania for more than 50 years. With mortgage interest rates at an all-time low, now is the time to buy or refinance. Phone 717-757-7602 today or visit their website, gslsc.com.
Savory's Funnel Cakes have brought their delicious funnel cakes from the York Fair to Santander Stadium. Be sure to visit their stand on the third base concourse near the Hop Corner, as they offer both regular and pumpkin funnel cakes. Also, be sure to check out Savory's Funnel Cake Eating Challenge played between innings during York Revolution home games. They also offer event catering. Give Savory's a call at 717-271-3485. That's 717-271-3485. Savory's Funnel Cakes, York's delicious delicacy for all to enjoy.
The radio home of the Revs. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
No score. We go to the bottom half of the sixth. Lights beginning to take effect here on a very pleasant evening. Luis de la Cruz will lead things off. First game of the second half of the season here tonight. First pitch from Joe Gardner is swung on and floated to second, and right there is Luke Hughes to make the grab. On a little humpback liner. One pitch, one out. We'll pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Revolution Radio.
First in York, first in sports. Your only local sports station. The new Sports Radio 1350, WOYK, York, Pennsylvania.
One down. Here is Wilson Valdez. No score. We're at the bottom of the sixth inning. Valdez, who blooped one to first his first time popping up, and he looks at a called strike. Gardner, in his first start here this season, second start overall, one hit in 7 innings so far tonight, one hit through 5 1/3, and Valdez taking all the way as this one misses just outside, 1-1. After the one pitch out, he resigned himself to taking at least 2, it looked like. And now we'll see, now that it's 1-1. Gardner delivers, and Valdez pushes the bunt toward first, and McDade reaches, and Valdez is in. What a terrific slide. A bunt single here in a scoreless game, and McDade got caught in between slightly, coming away from the bag to glove it. Butch Hobson's going to come out and argue, and McDade went for the tag, and Valdez went to slide underneath him. And the first base ump, Doug McFarling, said that he got the foot in. Watching it on the replay now. That's really close. The tag would have been up around the brim of his helmet right at about the time that his foot was making contact with the corner of the bag. Really close. Butch came out to argue briefly. But the problem for McDade was he went for the high tag, and Valdez slid under him. The Revs with their second hit. And here's James Simmons at the top of the order. Valdez will get some from first, and Gardner throws over. Well, I was just about to say, Gardner went 1 hit through 7 his first start here. He had given up just 1 hit until that bunt tonight. The time that he faced York and Lancaster, they hit him in the middle innings, but only 1 hit through the first 4 that night. Pitch to Simmons is in for a strike. Looked like Apodaca wanted it down and away, and Gardner missed toward the inner part of the plate, but still in the zone. Simmons, who grounded sharply back to the pitcher in the first, struck out in the third. This is his third at bat with York. And Valdez asking for time. And over at first base. Wanted to see the signs again from Polo. And Lancaster now will get some bullpen activity for the first time tonight. A right-hander up. And now we're ready. 0-1. And a swing and a dribbler foul partway over toward the third base dugout. Been a couple of weeks since Simmons has been in, or at least, I guess actually at least a week, about a week, little over a week since he's been in a game. But signed and moved right into the leadoff spot tonight. Now moved to first, and Valdez will dive back. Simmons this season with Bridgeport had batted just .225, but last year he hit .295 with 20 home runs, 15 steals, had 9 stolen bases this year. Stretch, the 0-2, and a swing and a miss on the slider down low. And Gardner with his 5th strikeout of the night. Simmons has always been a little susceptible to the strikeout, but he's got some tools. He can hit for power, he can run. When he connects, he can hit it a long way. He can also really go get it in center field. Here's Eric Patterson with 2 away. And before Valdez bunt hit, he had the only hit tonight, 1 for 2. And a move to first, Valdez dives back. And that single in the 4th inning set him up for a very eventful base running sequence. He made an outstanding play, going first to third on a ground ball to short. Running on the pitch, Pounds grounded out, and Patterson never slowed as he takes up high here on the first delivery. But then on a ground ball to third that Perez hit, he waited to see the throw go to first, busted for home, trying to make something happen, and on that play was thrown out, completing an inning-ending double play as Gardner steps off. But after the first half that the team had, I don't really at all mind seeing aggressive base running, even if it is occasionally to a fault. He's trying to spark the team. 1-0, Valdez runs, and a swing and a fly ball to right, shallow. Galvez coming in as Patterson slams the bat down, and the catch is made to end the inning. The bunt single from Valdez with 1 out. They're unable to do anything with it as he is left on base. We'll go to the 7th inning here tonight, and still no score.
Core Design Group, a local architectural and structural engineering firm, is celebrating 10 years of serving its partners in York County and beyond. Core specializes in commercial, healthcare, houses of worship, industrial, higher education, and residential. For more information, visit our new website at www.core-designgroup.com or call 717-741-2046.
Looking for something cool to do this weekend? Looking for a different kind of family fun? Come to the coolest place in town, York Ice Arena. Get on the ice with your friends for Rock and Skate, the last Friday of each month. Every Wednesday is family night with free skate rentals for the whole family. And remember, the coolest place in town is also available for the coolest birthday party in town. For party package prices and public skating times, check out YorkSkate.com. Want to learn to skate? Want to suit up and learn how to play some hockey? Come to the coolest place in town, York Ice Arena. Learn to skate programs are now available for all ages, for every skating ability. Class levels range from beginner to freestyle, where you'll learn basic jumps, spins, and footwork, and skating rental is included. Or get on the ice for York Ice Arena hockey programs. Taught by Ice Arena coaches, boys and girls can learn proper techniques for the game. Rental equipment is available. Group skating lessons and beginner hockey programs are forming now. Plus, York City residents get a 50% discount. Register today. Go to YorkSkate.com.
All about local sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOIK.
No score. We head to the 7th inning here tonight. The Revs had bullpen activity last inning when Lancaster had a walk and a single against Williamson with one out. They promptly shut down that bullpen activity after the double play. So Williamson starts the 7th. Luke Hughes to lead off, and a changeup missing high and away to start it. Hughes a ground out to short, and a fly out to left. On the 1-0, swinging a foul tip. Got a piece of De La Cruz, who hobbles out of his squat. Take a look at our York Mitsubishi out-of-town scoreboard. Southern Maryland is at Sugar Land tonight, and the Blue Crabs have kicked a field goal in the first inning already, leading 3-0, just getting started. Somerset leading Long Island 1-0 at home in the 5th. It's a change-up up and away. It's 2 balls and a strike. Bottom of the 5th at Campbell's Field, Bridgeport and Camden are scoreless. The 2-1, and there's a called strike as Williamson drills the outside corner to even things up. On the wind and the 2-2. Change up and golf toward the corner and left, but he'll pull it foul as it bangs off some of the fencing above the end section and apparently chipped his bat. Hughes heading over for new timber. Broken bat brought to you by Heritage Lawn and Landscape Care. Check that bat for EAB, Emerald Ash Borer. Anybody with an ash tree may very well have that problem. It's in our area and all around the country. And Heritage Lawn and Landscape Care can help you take care of it. Visit them online at heritagelawnandlandscape.com. Another 2-2, and it's up high. Hughes lays off. Williamson at 79 pitches now on the night. And the payoff offering just missed inside. It ran in off the corner, and a leadoff walk to begin the 7th. It's the 3rd walk that he's issued. And our K-man, Juan Apodaca, coming up. Well, a real bounce-back outing from Williamson tonight. Trying to keep things scoreless after the leadoff free pass. First pitch, Apodaca up there bunting, gets it down. Williamson is in to glove it. He'll turn and make the throw to first. Sacrifice is good. 1-3 on the out. And in a scoreless game, Hughes is at second base with one away. Lance Zawadzki up next. Ground out and a walk so far tonight from Zawadzki. And Williamson's pitch, it is down low. Barnstormers with 4 hits, the Revs with 2. Lancaster's drawn 3 walks, and the Revs have drawn 2. Williamson hunches over as he stares in. He's ready. A 1-0 and a swing and a floater at short. Valdez hustles out. It's off his glove. He picks up and can't get a throw off. And Zawadzki is on, and Hughes will take third on it. A little bloop, and Valdez was at double play depth. Or actually not at double play depth. What am I saying? A runner at second. He was towards second because of that. And had a long way to go into shallow left, and it just glanced off the end of his glove. He came within a whisker of making that running grab. And then had to chase it into shallow left. He picked it up with his glove and looked toward third, but couldn't get the grip to throw it in time. It's a bloop hit. First and third for Anderson Feliz. He swings and fouls the first one back to the right of the net and out of play. Now in a scoreless game, Lancaster with their third runner to reach third base tonight. The 0-1 and a little dribbler towards second. Patterson backhands, a glove flip, and Valdez fires to first. Another double play, and this one was a beauty. 4-6-3 to keep this game scoreless. Eric Patterson reaching down dirt level to glove it and made the glove hand flip to Valdez running across the bag. And a smooth as silk 4-6-3 twin killing. No runs, 1 hit, and a runner left at third. 7th inning stretch. It is still a scoreless game.
WellSpan has helped many professional, student, and recreational athletes stay at the top of their game. And they can do the same for you. With a full spectrum of care, including sports nutrition, concussion management, orthopedic surgery, and physical therapy, our winning team can help you prevent an injury or treat one. For immediate care, call 1-877-482-5420 or visit wellspan.org/sportsmedicine.
Waking up with the Zabe.
The Steve Zabin Show.
And I know people, I can already hear you screaming at your radio. You don't even have a real job, Zabin. You just sit in front of the microphone and flap your cake hole around. I understand that. I'm not upset to be back today. I need to get back. I need to get back on the horse and get back riding again. I'm just saying it's going to take me a segment or two to get up to speed. Join me, Steve Zabin, mornings at 6 on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
I'm Brandon. I'm an EMT.
And I'm Brandon. When he was in 8th grade.
With Dad's job, we moved around a lot.
So I went to school online at Connections Academy.
Virtual education was more flexible, and I learned to think independently.
I got way organized.
That paid off junior year when I started going to high school here in town, and it's paying off now.
Whoa, you look cool in that uniform.
I know, right? We look cool.
Connections Academy, the tuition-free online public school for grades K through 12. Visit connectionsacademy.com.
Your teams all the time. York's only place for local sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Bottom of the 7th and still scoreless as Gardner starts Brian Pounds with a curveball for a strike. Pounds, Perez, and Ferdinand due up. And another double play turn to keep it deadlocked. Pitch to Pounds is in tight. And he held his arms there, ready to take one for the team if need be. It just missed him. 95 pitches for Gardner starting the inning. Lancaster had Pete Andrelzik up last inning. Bullpen activity again as we begin the home 7th. The 1-1 And a ground ball to third and gobbled up by Feliz. He'll fire across and gets him. And there's one away. Well, Gardner, he is tough to elevate one against. When he's on, has a lot of sink to his stuff. A lot of ground balls. And Andres Perez will take the next shot at him. Has struck out and grounded out tonight. And the first pitch, slider breaks into the dirt. Barnstormers with 5 hits, the Revs with 2. Patterson had a single in the 4th. Valdez the bunt hit in the 6th. The 1-0. And that's over for a strike. Off speed. Revs have had 1 base runner reach third. The Barnstormers with 3. One, and a fastball just a smidge up. The closest that the Revs got to scoring was in the 4th. Patterson was at third with 1 out. Barnstormers had the infield in. Perez grounded to third. Patterson tried to score when they threw it to first, but was thrown out at the plate. And now Gardner misses high and away. 3 balls and a strike. Wind and the pitch. And a swing and a pop-up toward the York dugout, and this will get into the seats. Lands about 3 rows in. A full count. Gardner now up over 100 pitches, 103. Revs have bullpen activity as well. Stephen Penny is up. Then we might go from one all-star on the mound to another. Williamson 7 scoreless tonight. What a bounce back for him. The 3-2 to Dre, and a swing and a rip toward the middle and a base hit. Andres Perez, a 1-out base runner. He's got the Revs' 3rd hit of the night. Didn't quite square it up, but punched it up the middle toward the shortstop side of the bag and into center. His 379th hit with York, and here comes Butch Hobson. He is 4 away from tying James Shank's club record. Now the Revs with their 3rd hit, and Butch having a chat at the moment. He is yet to go to the pen. And he'll leave Gardner in. Nick Ferdinand to the plate. Had a word from Polo as he waited out that mound visit. Ferdinand a walk and a strikeout so far tonight. Wide open right side of the infield with Perez being held. And Gardner holds. Now the pitch. It is down and away. Last time that Logan Williamson started at home, June 29, the Revs beat Sugar Land 1-0, and it was a 7th inning run. Jacob Calderon's homer, he's on deck. The 1-0 and a check swing. It's a called strike on a slider. Mace gives signs to Polo. Polo relays those. Now the stretch. And Gardner steps off. Now the right-hander ready. A 1-1 and a chopper toward third. It's fair. Glove by Feliz. They go to second, and the turn is just in time. A high one-hop chop to Feliz right on the line, and he starts a 5-4-3 double play. The third ground ball double play turned by Lancaster tonight. So this game will go to the 8th. No runs, 1 hit, and nobody left. Gardner stays in to finish the inning, and I think Polo is trying to claim that ball was foul. Talking with Bill Worthington on his way by. Logan Williamson's night is done. Big Pen makes his way in. We go to the 8th, and it's still 0-0.
Providing quality services efficiently and in a timely manner to its clients is the mission of the law firm of Griffith, Strickler, Lerman, Salamis & Calkins. GSLSC is equipped to handle any real estate transactions, leases, residential and commercial real estate settlements, zoning issues, and all matters involving municipalities. They are also experienced in the formation and operation of family real estate ventures that are tax sensitive to the needs of the investors. Griffith, Strickler, Lerman, Salamis & Calkins is an approved title insurance agency and can provide you with title insurance and legal representation at one low cost when buying a home or investment property. Don't risk any real estate settlement without an experienced real estate attorney from the law firm of Griffith, Strickler, Lerman, Salamis & Calkins at your side. Phone 717-757-7602. They've been handling residential and commercial real estate matters in South Central Pennsylvania for more than 50 years. With mortgage interest rates at an all-time low, now is the time to buy or refinance. Phone 717-757-7602 today or visit their website, gslsc.com.
Revolution! Summer is in full swing at Santander Stadium. 2015 brings incredible entertainment, amazing giveaways, and, of course, fireworks. On July 13th, gold medalist and Penn State head coach Cale Sanderson will make a special appearance on Wrestling Night. Meet him and get an autograph. See you at the Revolution game on July 13th. Revolution!
The Revolution plays here. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Top of the 8th, and no score. Stephen Penny takes over, and he'll face the top of the order for Lancaster. Pitching change brought to you by Maple Donuts. What a job from Logan Williamson tonight. Zach Collier to lead off, and he tries to bunt his way on and fouls the first one back against the net. He's 1 for 3 tonight. Had a bloop double that started the second half, but Williamson worked around that and allowed nothing in the scoring column in 7 superb innings. 0-1. And a swing and a pop-up. Valdez going out from short, backpedaling into the outfield, and he's got it. Catch is made for out number 1. Williamson tonight, 7 scoreless on 5 hits. 4 singles and a bloop double. One of the singles a bloop, another one an infield hit. 3 walks, struck out 2. 85 pitches, 49 for strikes. Here's Wilson Batista, who will bat from the left, and Penny fires it in near his toes and makes him dance. 1 ball and no strikes. Batista with 2 flyouts and a pop-up tonight. 1-0, and he swings and yanks one toward the line and right, and it's fair. And this will bounce into the corner as Boggs chases it, and Batista is in with a 1-out double as he yanked it right down the line and right. Now Lancaster with yet another runner in scoring position. Batista had been just 6 for 43 until that double. And they will pinch run for him here in a scoreless game in the top of the 8th. DJ Boston now coaching at third. Kevin Rivers, the hitter, he's 1 for 2 with a single and a walk tonight. First pitch from Penny, that is over for a strike, a splitter. Yusuke Kajimoto is the pinch runner. Penny the stretch. And the 0-1 swung on, grounded foul, first base side. That took a high hop right over the sidewall and up the stands. And to the surprise of many, no balls and 2 strikes. Penny a scoreless inning in the All-Star game. 2-2, a 3.12 ERA in 28 outings this season. Pitched the 6th inning on Wednesday night in the All-Star game in Bridgeport. And now into his stretch. Now look back, the 0-2, and it misses down and away. Valdez is behind Kajimoto at second and towards second base, inside of the runner. Playing Rivers to Poole. 1-2, splitter, he fouls it back into the net. '93rd appearance for Penny with York, adding to his all-time record. Now they set up in the 1-2, and he missed up high with it. Tried to pump a fastball in on Rivers. Now 2-2. Penny to the belt and to the plate, and he misses high and away. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Well, first base is open here. This is not a spot where you would want to serve anything fat for him to hit. You have some leeway. And now ready. The payoff pitch swung on and bounced to first. Perez waits, gloves the high hop. He'll take it to the bag himself in time for out number 2. Kajimoto to third base. And now it'll be Penny against Mike McDade with a runner at third and 2 outs. No score in the 8th. McDade tonight, the switch hitter, 1 for 3. And De La Cruz will spend a visit and head out to talk with Penny. Apparently he did not spend a visit. It was simply about signs. Signaled by the plate ump Bill Worthington, who went out there with them. And now we're ready to go. Penny the stretch, first pitch. It's a called strike. He nailed De La Cruz's glove, set up in. No balls and 1 strike. Matt Neal, tomorrow's starter. He's charting and watching alongside Mason Polo. The 0-1. Oh, just missed inside. Went back in there again, maybe a little bit further in. Penny ready. The 1-1 splitter, swing and a miss. And he jumps ahead of McDade. Mace is doing the pitching coaching tonight as well. Fletch had an issue with his flight back from the All-Star break. So Mace pulling double duty down there. The 1-2. And a splitter broke just inside. He doubled up on the off speed. Now into an even count, 2-2. Penny peers in and nods yes. And the pitch. Just missed inside. He and the 7 behind him were on their way to the Revs dugout. And Worthington froze and stared at it, 3-2. So he'll have to try to make another pitch. Now he's ready, the payoff. Swung on and lined to left center for a tie-breaking hit. Mike McDade, the RBI single to left center for the game's first run here in the 8th inning. And there you have it. One pitch after 9 Revs thought they had him struck out, and McDade slaps the RBI single. 1-0 Lancaster here in the top of the 8th. Tried the 3-2 splitter and left it up, and McDade slapped it. Brandon Jones will pinch run for him. Here's Galvez now. He swings and lofts a fly toward the line in right. And this will find the stands. No balls and a strike. What an awful way for the first run of the game to score. Now the 0-1. And a broken bat. Tapper to the left of the mound. Pounds in from 30. Bare hands, and his throw to first is late. Infield single for Galvez, his second of the night. Pounds hustled toward the mound, did all he could in the bare hand effort. You could hear the bat splinter. Broken bat brought to you by Heritage Lawn and Landscape Care. If you've got an ash tree, then you might have EAB on your property. Have the experts come check it out and fix the issue. You can find them online at heritagelawnandlandscape.com. Luis De La Cruz out to talk signs with Penny again. I thought for sure they were going to ring up McDade, but you can never think anything for sure. And as a result, it's 1-0 here in the 8th. Here's Hughes, who's 0 for 2 with a walk. He swings and grounds a foul over by the Lancaster dugout. Now the Revs will get Paredes up for the second time tonight. The 0-1, and a swing and a fly ball foul the other way in right field. Lancaster with bullpen activity. I believe Gardner's night will be finished after 7. Revs will have Calderon, Boggs, and De La Cruz due up in the bottom of the 8th. On the stretch from Penny. And the 0-2. Strike 3 called. 2 hitters too late. And Penny screaming as he looks in at home plate. And now Hughes is upset as well as he hollers at Bill Worthington. Several words. That one looked outside. I would not have been surprised if that would have been a ball. I was very surprised that ball 3 on McDade wasn't strike 3. And as a result, Lancaster has the lead as we go to the bottom of the 8th. 1 run on 3 hits and 2 left. It's 1-0 Lancaster, middle of the 8th, here tonight in York.
Remember when the goal was to see how fast you could run home from school, play 99 straight innings of wiffle ball, or jump up onto anything? At WellSpan Health, we think making time to play is still a great goal. Being healthy is how you get there. And just in case your grown-up body can't keep up with your inner child, WellSpan Orthopedics walk-in injury care is there to help with a team specially trained in treating sprains, strains, and broken bones. If you have a WellSpan primary care physician, your visit is added to your electronic health record so your doctor may coordinate any follow-up care. You never need an appointment, and both our Apple Hill location in York and our new Hanover Orthopedics location are open evenings and weekends. You can get all the details about orthopedic walk-in injury care at wellspan.org/injury. At WellSpan Health, it's our goal to help you get healthy and stay healthy, no matter how old you are or how young you feel.
Summer is about taking time for what really matters. Spending time with the family, enjoying nature's beauty, having a healthy lawn you can be proud of, plus the time to enjoy it. With Heritage Lawn and Landscape Care, you get world-class environmentally responsible lawn care from a hometown team. The result is a vibrant, beautiful lawn that turns heads and boosts curb appeal. Visit us at heritagelawnandlandscape.com.
Your home for Revolution Baseball. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Looking around up here, I am far from the only one who was bewildered on some of the rulings in that top of the 8th inning, and it costs the Revs dearly. 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Jacob Calderon to lead off. Pete Andrelzik, the new pitcher for Lancaster. First pitch of the inning is a slider for a strike. It wasn't just me and my Revs-colored glasses here in this booth. Many up here were stunned. Here's a little tapper to short, and having to charge is Zawadzki, and he just nips Calderon at first, who was hustling down the line on a soft bouncer to short, and Zawadzki was tested there and handles it on a close play at first base. Joe Gardner, 7 scoreless. 3 hits, 2 walks, 5 Ks. He's now in line for a win. Here's Brandon Boggs, who takes down low. He threw 107 pitches, 68 were strikes. 1-0, and a slider breaks across for a called strike. Defensive changes for Lancaster. Galvez comes in from right to play first. Brandon Jones, who pinch ran, goes into right. As Boggs swings and misses. Andrelzik back with a fastball. He's ahead 1-2. Now the pitch. And a swing and a miss in the dirt, and it ricochets way over toward Lancaster's dugout. And they won't have a play. Strikeout, wild pitch. That thing rocketed over toward the third base on deck area. Not the manner in which Boggs had envisioned getting on base, but he'll take it. So he's on at first with 1 out. Apodaca couldn't handle that one in the dirt. And here's Luis de la Cruz. De la Cruz, a ground out and a looper that was caught at second. First pitch here is grounded to third and right at Feliz, who forgot the outs. Throws to first for out number 2. But in unison, Andrelzik put his hands up to his head. Hughes, the second baseman, did the same. He was heading over to cover second. And it looked like a potential inning-ending double play, and Feliz forgot the outs. He thought there were 2. Maybe didn't even realize Boggs had reached on that. Well, he had to have realized it, but just flat out forgot the outs. So the Revs catch a break, and the tying run moves to second, and Wilson Valdez will try to take advantage of that. He's 1 for 2 with a bunt hit tonight. Down 1-0 in the 8th. And Andrelzik stretches and delivers. And fires a fastball in for a strike. Drelzik 2-1, a 2.05 ERA in 25 games in relief. Opponents have hit just 2.09 against him. The Lancaster native into the stretch. Outfield way shallow. Pitch to Valdez is tapped foul just behind the back corner of home plate. And it's 0-2. They are really shallow, trying to cut down the tying run on a base hit. They are giving Valdez zero respect for anything over their heads. I would love to see him hit one to right center like he did against Sugarland last week. There's the stretch. The 0-2, and he fouls it back off the net. He almost went oppo for a homer on the last homestand, but Denny Almonte crashed into the wall and made the play. But as shallow as they are here, if he hits one like that, nobody will be getting to it. And Drelzik, the wide open squatted stance as he looks in for the sign. And now ready, another 0-2 and a swing and a grounder to short off the end of the bat. Zawadzki up with it, throws to first, and gets Valdez by a step to end the inning. No runs, no hits, one left. Barnstormers overcome the mistake on the strikeout wild pitch, the mental mistake on their third baseman forgetting the outs. If nothing else, though, the Revs will have the top of the order in the bottom of the ninth as a result of that. We'll go to the top of the ninth inning. It's 1-0 Lancaster.
If you are facing retirement decisions, Smith, Mayer & Little Wealth Advisory Group can develop a customized retirement income plan. As specialists in retirement planning, we will guide you on Social Security benefits, 401k and retirement plan rollovers, pension choices, and distribution options. We can explain employer benefit plans and retirement systems such as PESERS and TIA-CREF. Smith, Mayer & Little, a wealth of knowledge about wealth. Get to know us over a cup of coffee or visit us at financialjava.com.
Janney Montgomery Scott LLC, member NYSE, FINRA, and SIPC.
Tennis used to be a very polite game. Today, tennis
Ace
raises a racket.
Flying feet.
The style, the play, and the players are intense, athletic, and hard-charging. Flying Feet Sports Shoes welcomes the evolution of tennis and its battling players with a full line of specialty tennis shoes worthy of the new game. These aren't stand-around, look-pretty shoes. These are co-conspirators for the court. Shoes that will endure opponent after opponent, match after match. Shoes that move when and how you move and stop at your command. Shoes that fit and feel good so your feet are ready and able to take that next set. Flying Feet's team includes Asics, New Balance, Wilson, and K-Swiss in widths that fit. And the Flying Feet staff is always on the sidelines ready to help with your selection. Tennis, it's a whole new game. Be prepared to play it well.
Flying Feet.
Flying Feet Sports Shoes, just off exit 18 of I-83, right behind Domino's in York.
Your county, your teams. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports.
Top of the ninth, 1-0. Lancaster leads it. Edward Paredes will come on in relief for the Revs. Pitching change brought to you by Maple Donuts. My counterpart, Dave, with Lancaster, informed me that Pete Andrelzik's only earned run given up in the last 20-some-odd innings reached on a strikeout wild pitch. It happened with one out in the bottom of the eighth, but Revs unable to take advantage of it. Well, we start the ninth. Juan Apodaca, the K-man, leads off, and Paredes' first pitch, a fastball strike. 90 on the outside black. Apodaca 0 for 2 with a sac bunt tonight. Barnstormers have out-hit the Revs 8-3. They had 3 hits in the 8th as Apodaca chases upstairs and misses it. The Revs felt the innings should have ended after their 1 hit in the 8th inning, but 2 followed, one of which has driven in the only run of the night. Paredes, the stretch, the 0-2, and a backdoor slider. See you, Chief. He froze him, and breadsticks have been ordered. One away here in the top of the 9. And Paredes picking up where he left off the first half with that nasty stuff. He looks completely different than the guy that started the year coming off the tendonitis, and that's a good thing. Here is Lance Zawadski, who's 1 for 2, a bloop hit and a walk. First pitch is a breaking ball just outside. Paredes overall, no record, a 3.47 ERA in 21 games. The 1-0. And a swing and a miss. He blew it by him. That one at 90 as well. I don't see anybody up in Lancaster's bullpen. I wonder if they'd try Andrelzik again. The pitch. And a swing and a miss. Zawadski fooled on a slider way away. Ended up with a half-hearted swing at it. On the 1-2. And he tried the slider again. This time Zawadski recognized it. As it missed away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Revs will have Simmons, Patterson, and Pounds due up in the bottom of the 9. Paredes trying to keep it a 1-run game. And the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Fastball at 91. And he fires it by Zawadski for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down on strikeouts here in the top of the 9. Our York Mitsubishi out-of-town scoreboard tonight. Southern Maryland is at Sugar Land. Southern Maryland, the first half Freedom Division champs. They lead 3-0 at Sugar Land in the 4th. Scored 3 in the 1st. Here's Anderson Feliz, who swings and misses. He was sitting dead red. And Paredes went with the changeup. Bottom of the 6th, Somerset hosting Long Island and leading 2-0. And in the bottom of the 7th, Bridgeport and Camden are all zeros at Campbell's Field. Here's a slider that curls across for strike 2. This one called. And Paredes ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. Now nods yes, he's ready. And the 0-2 and a backdoor slider and missed down and away. Going to have to be Andrelzik, I believe, in the bottom of the 9th. Going for a 6-out save. What it would appear from here. The 1-2. And a swing and a miss. Edward Paredes strikes out the side in order. A changeup to get Feliz. It's the same way he started him. And a 1-2-3 9th with 3 strikeouts. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Revs looking to answer back, and it is Andrelzik to the mound. It's 1-0 Lancaster.
Hi, this is Tom Dasher, president of Tom Dasher Investment Services. I specialize in retirement planning and strategies to meet individual personal goals. Whether you are looking for wealth accumulation or to maximize your retirement income. Oh, heck, this is sounding just like another commercial. Hey, listen, it's this simple. We use risk-free investment vehicles, whether you are looking to still build wealth accumulation or you want retirement income or a combination of both. It is all about getting your money parked in the place that will benefit you the most. If you want to do that, call me. My office number is 246-38 878-7879, or my mobile is 487-2096, or contact me at my new website at tomdasher.com.
Broadway Transmission? I don't know how they do it.
We've been in business for 60 years at the same location.
I don't know how they do it.
It's our long-term nationwide warranties.
Oh, and don't forget our online appointment scheduling.
I still don't know how they do it.
They toted my van at no cost with my repair.
It's our ATRA certified technicians. Don't forget the good-looking genius in the office.
Come on, man.
I know they helped me with financing. Still, with my bad credit, I don't know how they do it.
I did my research and felt comfortable that Broadway is a AAA approved specialty repair shop. I showed my AAA card and saved some hard-earned cash.
I was happy to get a $100 rebate in the mail after the job was done.
I sure don't know how they do it, but I do know they get it done, and they get it done right.
Broadway Transmission. We'll get your shift together and back on the road fast. Check us out on the web at BroadwayTrans.com or stop in and see how it's done.
Revs trail 1-0. Telvin Nash will pinch hit, leading off the bottom of the ninth. First pitch is chopped to third, and 2 hops to Feliz. He'll throw across for out number 1. Nash was looking to jump on the first one. All kinds of power potential in that guy, but he was slowed at the end of the first half due to some tightness. I could see him in the starting lineup tomorrow or the next day, but on a pinch hit attempt, bounces out for out number 1. 1-0 Lancaster, and Andrelzik looking for his first save of the season, trying to get 6 outs. Here's Eric Patterson, who shows a bunt, and it's a called strike. Outer reach, and Patterson left there shaking his head. He didn't like it. He's 1 for 3 tonight, one of only 3 hits for York. Here's the 0-1, and a swing and a ball, beaten foul at the plate. And it's 0-2. Brian Pounds on deck. Ralzik delivers, and a swing and a grounder rolling up the middle. It'll get through. Base hit into center. And Ralzik reached down, but couldn't get a glove on it. And Patterson punches it back through the middle in toward right center, his second hit of the night. So the tying run is on, and Brian Pounds to the plate. Tonight, 2 ground outs. Back in the first inning, he walked and stole a base. A winning run at the plate, trailing 1-0. And Ralzik delivers, and it's way inside. 1 ball, no strikes. You're wondering about a game-ending swing, and Ralzik has not allowed a home run in 45 innings. It's only the 34th hit that he's given up in 45 1/3. 1-0. And a swing and a line drive in left center field. It is in the gap. It's down for a hit and back against the fence. They are sending Patterson. He's going to score. And this game's tied at 1-1 here in the bottom of the ninth. Brian Pounds, the game-tying double to the gap. And it took all night, but the Revs are on the board, and they tie it with 1 out here in the 9th inning. They picked the right time to do it. And they sent Patterson all the way, and it looked like Zawadzki had some trouble getting it out of his glove. The relay took a moment to materialize, and Pounds able to leg it out. 1-1, and here's Andres Perez, who will try to win it. Pounds at second base, and Ralzik the pitch, and it is a little bit high. Ball 1. Barnstormers get a lefty up in their bullpen now. Presumably for Calderon, who's in the hole. Ferdinand is on deck. Here's the stretch. Outfield very shallow. The 1-0 and a slider caught the outside corner. It's a called strike. Zach Jackson is up in the bullpen for Lancaster. Brian pounds the All-Star, the game-tying double. 1-1 and a little bit low. Good eye from Dre. They are so shallow in the outfield for a guy that's got pop. And Zach Collier especially in center field, and he's walking in with the pitch. Perez can drive one somewhere. He'd have a great chance to end it. Stretch, and the 2-1. It's a slider, and it hovers across for strike 2. Patterson scored all the way from first on that double from Pounds. Now the stretch from Andralzik. The 2-2, and a swing and a miss. He went up high and got him on the fastball. And that's out number 2. Revs have Josh Judy up in their bullpen if they don't win it. And if we go to the 10th, he will come in. And here's Nick Ferdinand, who's 0 for 2 tonight with a walk. I guess the question for Butch here is, would he rather have Andralzik face Ferdinand or walk him and bring in Jackson to face Calderon? He will go with the former. And Andralzik comes set. First pitch is down and away. Apodaca blocks it. Butch now motioning for his outfielders to back up. At least Collier in center a few steps. He has witnessed the power of Ferdinand on a few occasions already. Here's the stretch. And the 1-0 slider missed up high. So Ferdinand can be picky. Now you have to wonder with first base open, will he get anything good to hit? Here's the stretch. The 2-0 and a slider tumbles in at the bottom of the zone for a called strike. Two and one the count. Now the stretch. And the pitch, and a fastball just outside. Good eye. While Ferdinand gets on, it'll certainly be Jackson. Calderon is next. Andralzik ready. The 3-1 slider broke down and away. Ferdinand walks. Second time that he's walked tonight. And it's first and second, and here comes Butch. So he'll go to the lefty, and if you're thinking about Mace batting for Calderon with a righty, he's got Paniagua. He wouldn't use him, being the other catcher. He's got Mikey Reynolds, but he's just coming back. And he's got Alfredo Patino. And Jackson has been summoned, and so has Patino. Mace will combat that lefty-lefty attempt from Butch and send out one of his new infielders, Alfredo Patino, to pinch hit. And he is 3 for 9 in 3 games with York, a hit in all 3. So Butch makes a move, Mace counters. Calderon had been just 2 for 20 off lefties. One of the 2 was a home run, but the splits are pretty drastic. He's hit .362 against righties. Patino 3 for 8 off righties, 0 for 1 off left-hand pitchers in his brief time with York. So Jackson will warm up. We'll pause 10 seconds for station identification here on Revolution Radio.
First in York, first in sports. Your only local sports station. The new Sports Radio 1350, WOYK, York, Pennsylvania.
1-1 is our score here in the bottom of the ninth inning, opening game of the second half. It was scoreless into the eighth when Lancaster scratched across a run after the Revs thought they had the inning ended on a strikeout. And in the bottom of the ninth, York tying it up. Eric Patterson singled with one out, scored on Brian Pound's double, denying Pete Andrelzik of a 6-out save attempt. And he came back to strike out Perez, but walked Ferdinand, and now it's the lefty Jackson who comes in and a side armor. 2-5 with a 4.36 ERA and 25 outings. And Patino will pinch hit, facing the lefty. Jackson this season has had lefties hit 265 against him, righties 280. So he's been fairly in the middle with the splits, but you would certainly think he'd be tough on lefties with that delivery. And Patino will pinch hit instead. Here we go. Winning run is Pounds at second. Ferdinand is also on at first. 1-1 with 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth. And Jackson looks in, and he's ready. Set at the belt. And the lefty's first pitch, down and in as Patino dances out of the way. In his 4th game with York, this is his first home at bat for the 22-year-old. Part of a bit of a youth movement for the Revs of late. Stretch. And the 1-0. It's just inside. So he will have a 2-0 count to sit on. Now Patino asks for time and backs out. Make sure he's all focused. Jackson ready. And the 2-0 swung on, bounced way up off the plate. They call it foul. Jackson fielded, threw it to first. And the Barnstormers can't understand why it was foul. And Jackson is beside himself. The middle infielders were first. And now Butch is out screaming at Chris Carroll, the third base ump who made that call. And I got to be honest, I cannot understand how the third base ump did that and not the plate ump when it was right at home plate. And Butch is going berserk. He can't be much longer here the way he's going. And now he's going to holler at Bill Worthington, the plate ump. Apodaca wasn't happy either. And Butch is about to blow a gasket. He cannot believe that Carroll at third base made that call. And they won't throw him out. He's still in the game. But he had the head bob going and everything. He was incensed. Patino still with life on a 2-1 count. I don't know if they thought it bounced off Patino on the way back to the mound, but that had to have been what it was. That's the only thing it could have been. Jackson heads over and asks Carroll what he saw while we wait for the dust to settle. And he seems to be okay with the explanation, but Revs may have caught a serious break. 2-1 on Patino. A 1-1 score. Here with 2 outs, 2 on in the bottom of the 9th. Jackson looks in. A long look, and now he's ready. And the stretch from the lefty. The 2-1 swung on, grounded foul. Patino took aim at the first base line and was just a hair behind it. Slice that thing down into the Revs bullpen. It's 2-2. The outfield, again, fairly shallow. Playing him to the opposite field. Jackson ready. The 2-2. Down and in, almost hit him in the back foot. Lifted the back foot out of the way, and now with a full count, both runners will be on the go. And Patino gets on without ending the game. Brandon Boggs is on deck. A head start for both runners. 3-2 with 2 outs. And Jackson has his sign, the stretch. And the 3-2, down and in. And Patino works out the pinch hit walk. And Brandon Boggs coming to the plate. A chance to be a hero tonight. If he does that, he might have an interview coming his way tomorrow. He wanted to know if I had interviewed any of the other All-Stars today. He digs in. He's 0 for 3 tonight. He'll bat from the right, the switch hitter. Bases loaded, 2 outs in the 9th. And the first pitch, swing and a tap foul over toward the third base side. No balls, 1 strike on Boggs. Trying to come through here and finish this one off. Jackson ready. And the 0-1. It is a called strike. Jackson came in on him. Boggs turned and took it. And now in an 0-2 hole. Pounds the winning run at third. He tied it on the double. Ferdinand and Patino on behind him. They both walked. There's the stretch. Now the 0-2. It hit him! Hit him with a pitch! Hit by pitch! Game over! And the Revs win on opening night of the second half, 2-1, with 2 runs in the bottom of the 9th. Brandon Boggs is going to get his interview tomorrow. And the Revs are 1-0 in this second half on a game-winning, bases loaded, hit by pitch on 0-2 in the bottom of the 9th inning. 0-2 with 2 outs, and he hit him with a pitch. And Butch Hobson wants a piece of the umpiring crew on his way off. Still steamed at that foul ball call on Patino, who ended up drawing the walk to get Boggs to the plate. And Jackson, who had gotten a called second strike, coming in on Boggs, tried to go in there again and hit him with it. And Boggs was happy to wear it, and he picks up the game-winning RBI. Unbelievable, and the Revs win 2-1. with 2 runs in the bottom of the 9th. Their 4th walk-off win of the season, and it comes on a bases-loaded hit-by-pitch. What a way to walk off with the victory, and Boggs was happy to take it. They went out and celebrated around him. They celebrated around Pounds, who came in with the winning run and, of course, had tied it earlier in the inning on his double. And what a victory to start the second half. The Revs pull it out in the bottom of the 9th inning, and they do it in improbable fashion on an 0-2 hit by pitch with 2 outs.